Well, here we go with the Bond ranking video. The one of the biggest franchises ever. Actually, this is a strange video to do because we are in a Bond hiatus. It's been, I think, 5 years.
Yeah,
It's the last one.
yeah,
Is that right? 2021 was No Time to Die, and then
yep,
it died off.
yep, yeah,
Anyway,
yeah,
this is my friend TJ from There Will Be Duds, a good podcast you should all check out. His buddy Nick is with him always. He's not here this time because this was a chore to do, watch through all these
yeah,
Bond movies. But
yeah,
thanks for watching through 26 Bond movies, and then
yeah.
we're gonna rank them. Guys should check out There Will Be Deads. I've been on their channel a few times,
A
I
few
think,
times, yeah,
by now. Yeah.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
and how do you feel after watching 26 James Bond movies almost in a row within a month of each other? Whatever you did.
It question. Well, so I did already have a jump start, but I ended up basically rewatching everything I had watched already. So I essentially did watch all of them in the span of month and a half, and it definitely had me questioning if like I don't this is a franchise that like I feel like probably a lot of people like my age or your age like you watched or you knew them as a kid and it's like yeah it's Bond, they're like the coolest movies ever, but like rewatching them as an adult and especially back to back to back is it's tough. It's like it's over like I still think that I love I like the idea of like the franchise as a whole, like I'm still I don't know, like I guess I would still say that I am like a Bond fan, but it's definitely changed after
Oh,
watching all these. And that's not to say that there are some movies that I love still. I'm not saying they're all a chore, but I would say like percentage wise it's you know it's pretty 50-50 whether it's going to even be like a 6 out of 10, you know what I mean? Like
oh, totally.
uh
Yeah, but I did not. I know we both have posted on Letterbox. I'll put in the description your Letterbox account, and people can figure out mine. But
mm,
I did not look at your ratings at all, so I don't know what you're going to say here, how you're going to rank them. And yet I did hear from you the thing you just said off outside of this recording. I had the same feeling, and even though I grew up in a time where cable TV Bond marathons were a thing, and I
mhm.
remember this very vividly,
Yep.
24 hours of Bond, and then just show movie after movie. I never sat through those. These were definitely not made to be watched in sequence in a short period of time.
No.
I mean,
No.
you're supposed to be like 2 hours of popcorn entertainment
Yeah.
here, and then 2 years later the same thing, but for watch and forget for some of these at least. That was,
Yeah.
do not gorge on them. Do not binge.
No, not at all. It I think it actually makes the movies worse if you were to like watch them as a series. Like especially some of those the Sean Con like the early ones when they really like were kind of like still getting their footing. It's like it's the triple of um I think it's Thunderball, You Only Live Twice, and then On Her Majesty's Secret Service. That's like a trilogy in the book series. It's like the Blofeld trilogy,
Oh yeah,
but
yeah.
they do them out of order because like You Only Live Twice is I think the last one in the it comes last, but that came before On Her Majesty's Secret Service. So when you get to On Her Majesty's Secret Service, the movie, you get a scene where Blofeld and Bond meet each other, and it's like they're meeting each other for the first time. But
Oh, that's right.
You Only Live Twice, the movie already happened
Ah,
where they already met. And there's so many instances like that where there's so many like contradictions and stuff. And obviously with the Craig Bonds, they, they were actually trying to tell like a linear story with that. So those ones are different, but everything before then is really just like you don't know which version or which storyline you're going to be getting.
I actually hadn't thought of that. Yeah, I mean, the jump around in time and who's older, who's newer as far as the Bond goes. Obviously, Craig is younger. Oh, by the way, you should stick around to the end after we do this ranking, get our definitive 26 movie ranking. We'll do some awards. I think the dumbest double entendre is one of the
Yep.
awards. I think the
I got a few options
dumbest
for that. Yeah.
Q invention is another. Or so. I put a few together, but I'm just going to do them off the top of my head. You might have a more sustainable list. Also, when we rank these, put this in the tier system, this S tier, A tier, all the way down to whatever D tier. We're ranking them in terms of relative to themselves, not in terms of movie history, right? I
Yeah.
think that's what we agreed to. It's like this
Yeah.
could get worse or better. Well, probably not better, but worse if we rank them relative to other action movies,
Probably
movie
worse.
history. So we're gonna rank them according to themselves. I don't think I've told you this. Probably about 5 movies in S, 5 in A, 6 in B. It's a middle, and then 5 and 5. So we'll have
Yeah.
more or less an even distribution among those 5 tiers. Is that reasonable to you?
Yeah, I think let me look at what we had said in the thing for like because we had kind of a breakdown for like what each tier sort of like represents.
If no one's ever seen a video like this, I've watched a few. S is superior, and I
S
don't
is
know why
best.
that's the definitive top
Yeah.
number, but top rank, but that's S superior.
So looking for it. Can we add an F tier? Because I feel like I just need one more
Okay,
delineation.
you want to do 5 in each tier and have a special one. You must have one in mind to put down way below
maybe.
them all.
I have a couple that I really don't like.
We'll fight over that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's more than one that could go down there. And the truth be told, I hadn't seen most of these movies for like 25 years, even 25 to 30 years. So that's how old I am. You're way younger than me, but
yeah.
to rewatch
But I did watch
these
these as like a little kid. Like,
right. So to watch him as a little kid, watch him as an adult, I honestly had never heard most of these double entendres before.
Yeah.
And these sexual double entendres, it kind of blew me away. Trying to each movie trying to top the other ones. And I forgot that the Brosnan ones were real serious violators there. I forgot that entirely. So anyway.
Yeah.
Well, let's start.
Okay.
And in random order. Do you want to go first? I don't know. I'll go first and you go second, and then we'll try to be quick with each one, or
Sure.
We'll pause on the good ones maybe, and we'll go past the bad ones. In random order, although I try to get the years right. So what is this? This is Dr. No.
Dr.
Okay,
No.
well, first, let me set it there for a second. So Dr. No is the very first one.
Okay.
With this Bond goes to an oceanside place and has bikini babes, and that kind of thing recurs 6, 8, 15 times in the series.
Yeah.
With a supervillain, Dr. No, who's probably on Jeffrey Epstein's island, for all I know. I actually thought this was a nice template movie. And then the later movies, especially the Connery ones, kind of repeated, surprisingly, like almost verbatim, some of the stuff in here. Bond shows up at an airport. Some guy's trailing him. The chauffeur's out to kill him, all that stuff. I don't know. This is okay, but it was less good than I remembered it. So I think I had it in, let's see, ABC. Did I have it in C? I had it in C.
If we're if these are if this is what we're doing, S, A, B, C, D,
yeah,
I would probably do C as well, because it's not the worst. I think in my head how I'm compartmentalizing it is like B is that limit where like I would consider watching it again, or if somebody was like, hey, do you want to watch Dr. No or something like that, I would be like, not really. So anything like under that is like C or D. And like I'm watching this, I'm like, yeah, it's got like, it has the moment, it has the, it's got the iconic Bond moments. He's at the casino and he says Bond, James Bond, the girl walking on the wire. It has all those like iconic moments, but I've like long grown out of like being in awe. Like I don't give a movie points for just being the first one to it's the first one where he says that, so who cares? And then what you're left with is just a really really boring movie for the most part.
It really does. There's some of that. And of course, this is 1962 and you really get the sense of a somewhat different value system, but I felt like some of these early ones are like anti-feminist
Mhm.
or Playboy-esque. Like it's like a 10-year-old looking at a Playboy, but everybody's covered up. There's some of that
Yeah, sure.
peeping sense, and that's what I get with the Ursula Andrews coming up out of the
For
ocean in this
sure.
movie, which is one of its iconic images. All right, well, see, it is. Sorry, Doctor. No, now the next one is what
It's
is
like
it? The
the
Living
living
Daylights.
daylights.
Okay, I'm going to put it here for a moment, but is this the first Timothy Dalton one? I think it
Yeah,
is.
it
Yeah,
is. Yep.
in the mid
Um,
'80s.
which I thought was fine. I was the Timothy Dalton ones. I had never seen before. I had never seen either of his before, so there was a little bit more. I my interest was definitely a little more peaked after 7 Roger Moore movies in a row. It was like it was nice for a change of pace, but also just somebody I hadn't seen before. But I thought it was okay. I would like maybe B, but probably C for me. Um, I want to say the standout thing for this one that I'm pretty sure I made note of in my review, if this is the one I'm thinking of, is it's something that yeah, it is this one. That like the thing that I was the most invested in this was like the romance, which I'm not
Oh,
typically invested in a Bond movie because they're
oh,
usually very forced or very one-sided. I don't know if there's a better term for that, but Bond is Bond. He's just like, hey baby, we're gonna have sex and you're gonna be in love with me, and that's kind of how they go. This one felt like a little more organic than normal, like
okay.
so that was the main thing that I remembered from it. And that Joe Don Baker was in this, who I
Um,
know as Jack Wade from the Pierce Brosnan movies.
right.
But he
He's a
played a
different
bad guy in
character.
this one. Yeah, that was so
I didn't
weird.
understand why they recast him in the Brosnan ones when he showed up in that
I don't know.
Brosnan. I was like, what is going on? Is he the same character? That's what I had in my head
That's
from
that's
this movie.
just that's just to show how sloppy this series is. Because another one is Maud Adams, who plays Octopussy. She had also played. She was in The Man with the Golden Gun, as like she's like a contact person for Bond, and she ends up getting killed by Christopher Lee. And I think she's in another one too. So she's in like 2 or 3 Bond movies, and then she plays Octopussy. So they were just like,
Oh, that would drive the internet nuts today.
yeah, yeah, it would.
They could not get away with that.
Hmm.
You want to put this in B or C? Where do you want to put this one?
Well, where do you want to put it? Because I'm pretty sure you hate this one.
This was my least. I think this one sucks, but
This
I
is the
think
worst one.
I'll just my complaint will be here,
Okay.
and maybe I won't say it again, but I probably will. I hate this director. It's John Glenn,
John Glenn,
not
right? Yeah.
not the astronaut,
Yeah.
the Glenn with one N. I'm sorry if your family has made money off of John Glenn's directing and you get residuals. I just think he's really incompetent. So, but I think, but the other thing is with the Dalton, it's sort of like, do you like him? Does he fit? The Bond role is very different from Moore. I mean,
Hmm.
he's rugged, he's dark,
Yeah.
dark looking, but
Yeah.
he's like a not evil bent to him, like a little sinister. And I don't know, it just depends on who you like and what you want in that role. So, but I'm happy
Yeah.
with you. Why don't you put it where you want to put it?
I guess we can stick with it. Maybe what we can do is, if we're gonna try to have a rough even distribution, we can put it in C. But then, if we're like fighting for space, and we gotta like bump something out of C, and we
Okay.
gotta bump it down, like because I know that you don't like it, and we're trying to do. I don't want it to just, I like it being kind of an average, or like kind of. It's not. It's gonna be like
Yeah.
roughly representative of both of us. I'm sure we're not gonna like fully agree with whatever we end up with,
Yeah.
but
Well, I think when we disagree, like you love it and I hate it, that's something. But when you're like, that's fine, and I don't like it, then people get the message. So
yeah.
I'd be happy with C. I would probably have like 5 or 6 I'd fight over it when it comes down to it.
I guess it depends how we each
Yeah.
fall. Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see how this goes.
Okay.
Next up, a very interesting one. Bond goes to space.
Mm-hmm.
With Moonraker.
Yeah.
I I vividly remember watching this as a kid. And it's, of course, probably thing to say here is the Bond franchise kind of absorbed trends, and especially during the '70s, I feel like maybe some of the '80s, they tried to ape or repeat trends that were going, and so this one. You feel the Star Wars influence because Star Wars is
Mm,
'77. This one is '79, I
I think
think.
yeah, yeah.
And before this, a couple of the Connery Bond movies, they have space effects in them, and they just are awful, in my opinion.
Hmm.
I can't believe they're that bad. This is not as bad. It has weird laser shootout in space
Yeah.
scene at the end. Also has the sidekick villain Jaws in it,
Hmm.
who I actually like for I don't know why, and he gets a girlfriend in this.
Yeah.
So it's one of
Yeah.
the campier, ridiculous ones,
Hmm.
and I tend to like the cartoony. I like the cartoonier Bonds. They're supposed to really weren't taking themselves that
Yeah.
seriously. I tended to rank those a little bit higher. So you either get the serious ones where he's get like you mentioned with Living Daylights, he's invested in a girl or something and
Yeah.
really got to save the world, or it's a stupid shootout in space with a monster who's got I don't know what he's got steel jaw teeth. I mean,
Yeah. It's just
and
his
it
teeth.
becomes friends with them. It's just so
Yeah.
weird. I don't. Where did I have this? I think I had it. I might have had it in A. Let me go back to my list real quickly. Because I had it in B. Yeah,
You
I
got
had
it
it
in
in
B.
B for sure. I think this is a higher B. I can't
Yeah.
recommend this to too many people, but it's like, would you watch it again? Hey, for a Roger Moore movie, it would be a top tier Roger Moore movie,
Sure. Yeah. I
which is
feel.
kind of an insult, by the way. I am
Oh.
insulting him.
Oh.
I don't like him
Oh.
that much, but anyway.
I know. I feel like in the long run, Roger Moore is maybe the most disliked Bond. I feel he gets like the most criticisms levied against him, which it's fine. I don't know. You mentioned earlier the like those network TV Bond marathons, and that's how I watched a lot of these. You know, we had a couple of the Pierce Brosnan ones on tape or DVD, but then like the old ones, all I had was those ones, and we would record them off TV, so we have them on like. So I would have a couple of the Roger Moore ones, a couple of the Sean Connery ones on tape, like with the commercials embedded or whatever. Um, but so I've always had a soft spot for some of his stuff, and I definitely like the campy stuff too. I kind of feel basically exactly what you say. I would probably say like a high B tier for this. I like every time I'd get to these ones or I can't think of any right now. And like Octopussy, I know a lot of people hate Octopussy. I really liked Octopussy, and it's
Okay.
like it's because I'm like I will take stuff like this over those boring ass Sean Connery ones. The like you say you don't like John Glenn. My guy is Terrence Young, the
Okay.
guy
Yeah,
who
yeah.
started it, and he did Doctor No from Russia with Love, and then Guy Hamilton comes in and makes Goldfinger. You're like, oh, that one's really good, and then Terrence Young comes back and makes Thunderball, and he just shows how terrible he is at it. So he's my John Glenn. Um,
Interesting.
this one isn't John Glenn though. I think John Glenn starts after this one. But
This is Lewis Gilbert who
Lewis
did
Gilbert,
this. I think he did the Spider Love Me. I have to
I
check on
believe
that.
so. Yeah.
The two or three of these as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, the director switches were really interesting and very palpable. If you watch this Bond movies through
Hmm.
chronologically, you kind of tell whose vision it is. The auteur thing is kind of there actually, is it
Yeah.
weirdly enough, especially once you get to some of the Craig, like Sam Mendes, to me
Yeah.
is very distinctive. Anyway, okay, Moonraker, the Star Wars James Bond. This, oh gosh, you just set yourself up
Is
for
this
this. This
is
is
this
Thunderball.
great? I'm glad.
I'm gonna put this up here in S for a moment.
Yeah, sure.
Just
Yeah,
to
this is
troll
a
you.
placeholder. No, I know you don't like this one either. I know that's a lie.
This is the
Uh,
second or third highest grossing Bond movie adjusted for
Crazy.
inflation.
I
Isn't
don't
that
understand.
amazing?
Yeah, this is it's nice. At least we're getting our big hate ones out of the way since we did Living Daylight. This is the worst one in my opinion. This is the absolute bottom of the barrel. I did not like this one at all. It was just it was such a plus like watching them in order like I just said it was Doctor No, Thun not From Russia with Love, which was a little bit better, but still I'm like so drab and boring and just nothing interesting about like the filmmaking or like the set design. I just found them so dull. And then again, Guy Hamilton comes in with Goldfinger. It's like, okay, here's a good classic Bond movie, right? It's a lot more fun. You get like the campy like sidekick with like Odd Job. Goldfinger is such a more interesting bad guy than we've had up to this point. Okay, cool. Now we're getting somewhere. And then follow that up with Thunderball, and it was just reinforcing like, oh no, Goldfinger's was just its own thing. Now we're going back to what they did before for some reason. And it was just emblematic of all the things that I disliked about the early era of Bond. Plus you get multiple minutes long scuba diving sequences where there's no dialogue and it's just people just underwater, and like even like the final battle with like all the people underwater was so dull. And then not like the content of the movie itself, but I think the kind of the final nail in the coffin for me being like, yeah, this movie sucks, is that I found out they killed like they killed like 3 or 4 sharks for this movie. And anytime that people like murder animals for the sake of a movie, I think that just shows that you're a bad filmmaker, because I think if you want to get your point, if you need to like show an animal being killed or something like that, like in your movie, and the only way you can do it is by actually killing an animal, then you're an uncreative person, and maybe you should try a little bit harder.
They killed real sharks on this. It wasn't a fake shark. It wasn't a prop.
No, what made me look it up was, I think in that final fight, you see a guy literally, he shoots one with a harpoon and there's blood and it's swimming. I was like pretty sure that was a real one. And I looked it up and it was, yeah.
They always had that no animals are harmed in the movie warning, but not for, okay. I had this as the 25th 25 out of 26. I thought.
So this is next up from Living Daylights.
Yeah, Living Daylights was the worst, but for me, I mean, they're basically the same in the sense. This was horribly boring. You're right. There, it's underwater most of the time. Then they remade this movie, which we'll get to. I mean, Never Say Never Again is this movie remade, and it's actually well. I won't say it's better, but we'll get there.
It is, in my opinion, it's much better.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's get past that piece of junk. Man with the Golden Gun. Okay, in my memory, this was a great movie. I watched it, and it has it is. I like the mythical element to this movie. James Bond has an assassin go after him, so Bond quits the search. I think he quits. Or he's just let go. Anyway, and he goes to hunt this assassin down so he can go do something else. This got one guy's after him, and then he's got to deal with, I don't remember what it is at the end. Just go through the whole house of...
The, funhouse thing.
Funhouse, yeah. The mirror thing is from Wells' Lady from Shanghai. I like the ideas of this movie and the myths of it, but then I watched it, and it's kind of like very low budget quality in some way.
Yeah.
I was shocked by they just put a lot of money in it, but I like Christopher Lee.
Yes.
Is the villain here.
Yes, he's a definite standout. Yeah.
To me, this is a B tier. I wish I could say it was a little higher, but I did I was okay with it. Let's put it that way. I thought it was, when I was a kid, I liked it better, but I was still okay with it. Yeah. It's sort of like another one of those cartoony Bonds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is one that I watched a lot as a kid. Yeah, didn't hold up as much as I had hoped, but I would agree that I really liked Christopher Lee in it. He was definitely my favorite part. There's a scene where, like, before their showdown, where he's having dinner with Bond, and I thought his performance there especially was really good.
He's a good villain. There's some terrible acting villains, in my opinion. There's a few movies where it's just stilted or not interesting, and this is not that. So, it's okay.
Yeah. I'll go. I would probably yeah, low B. I would say a low B for me, but yeah.
Um, I think we said this. There's 26 Bond movies, so that would put it right in the middle, really. Something like that.
20,
Awesome.
yeah, because we
Yeah.
did, yeah,
The
never seen.
next one is you already mentioned this.
I
I can't
did,
even believe
yes.
it's got a mention already. Octopussy, which is 1983. Is this the last? This is not. This is the second to last Moore movie, right? 1983.
Yes.
So what do you want to do
Yes.
with this?
I don't know if we were, if we're trying to divvy them up, equally. I maybe would have to put it up in A, but like right now, if we're not, if I'm just going where I think it should go, I would say B. I think like middle of B. I think it's got a lot of that good, a lot of that good campy more era stuff. You got Bond in like the alligator decoy costume, like going up
This
to the,
isn't the one. I think there's another one where he swings on a vine or
yes,
something or a rope,
and
and
it
there's a
does the,
Tarzan sound effect.
yes,
Is that this one?
that's this one, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is maybe there's a lot of campy Bond, but this might be the one that feels the most like a literal like comic book, maybe. Because this one also ends with him dressed up as a clown at the circus.
Oh my gosh. I
In like
forgot
full
about that.
clown makeup. Um but also this one has one of the coolest action sequences, I think, in like any of them, because it ends with him. It's very it made me think a lot of the last Mission Impossible movie. Obviously it's not Roger Moore. It's not like he's no Tom Cruise. He doesn't do his own stunts by any means, but there is a stuntman on like hanging off of a plane that's like doing flips and swoops and stuff. And that was exhilarating. It's cool to see when they actually like do stuff for real, because I feel like in this franchise especially, there is a lot of just like guys against blue screen, fighting, but that was they actually did it. So I got to give it props for that too. So,
And a really ambitious title.
yeah, that too.
Well, you should put this where you want. Forget me, I don't care. But if you want to put it way up there, I'll bump it later. But okay.
Well, yeah, we'll go B for now. Yeah.
You want it in A, B.
B. I don't
Okay.
know. We'll do a B right now. That's what I feel.
I think that's
right
a
now.
fair compromise. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. Okay. Well, the next one is trying to get the years here. I think this is 2002.
2. Yep.
Die Another Day. What would end up being the last Pierce Brosnan movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to give too much away. I do like Brosnan.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mind any of
Me
his
too.
movies he was in. Like that,
Yep.
whatever. This is a weird. It comes out. I don't remember the timeline, but there's 9/11, and then this movie's released, and it's about North Korea.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't look this up. I assume they probably edited it a little bit or changed some things around.
Maybe,
in
yeah.
response to 9/11, but already it was in the planning for sure, or whatever. This whole plot about the North Korean terrorists and whatnot. And more space weapons in this. I thought, and Halle Berry's in it, redoing the Ursula Andrews things. I think this isn't the first time there was a black female in Bond's life, but maybe Grace Jones.
Maybe a main one.
She's
Grace
the main one.
Jones. Yeah. There's
Yeah.
one in Live and Let Die too.
Yeah. Although
yeah.
I don't think she's the main one either.
No, she's not.
So-
It's
so then
Jane
there's-
Seymour.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So I thought I like this one. I
Mhm.
think it. Man, I'm gonna settle for B again. Is that what I'm gonna do? Because I think the internet's really down on this, but I like
Yeah.
it better than they do. So I'm gonna put it up here in B, at the high point here, and maybe we'll move it
Yeah.
later.
We
I'm like, it's like right on the edge between A and B for me.
okay. I'm gonna push to move this one later. This is
Up or
an
down?
S. This is an S tier Bond movie for me.
Well, let's move it to A because I got it like 10th, 11th. So
Okay.
I S tier. Oh,
Yeah.
I
I adore this movie. This is one where like every time I watch this and I see that like this is it's like no matter where you look, it's like it's I think if you go on like Letterboxd and you sort the series by like average rating, I'm pretty sure this is the one that's at the very bottom. And it's
2.6.
this is one where I'm
2.6 out
like
of 5.
I don't even feel like I'm watching the same movies as other people when I watch one like this, because I'm like like this has it's got all the like the good like campy stuff that I love about it, and like I love the villain in this. I think he's so great that he's like he says it like he hates James Bond so much that he decides to like become him. So that's like the guy is like doing like an ultra cheesy version of Pierce Brosnan's Bond. It's so ridiculous. But I love it for that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't get the hate for this one at all.
Okay, I really didn't know what you thought, and so I'm curious now what's going to happen with these Brosnan movies. We'll
I am a Brosnan guy. I'll
apparently
say
you
that.
are. How
Yeah,
old are you? But I shouldn't ask your age. Maybe I should. Are you like 30 something?
30 something. Yeah.
So you
I
are. They
I
came out when you were a kid.
I
Is that right?
may have seen this one in theaters. I don't remember. If I had, this would have been the first one that I would have seen in theaters. I don't remember if I did though.
This is the one where James Bond is tortured in a Korean prison, right?
Yes.
Am I remember? Okay. Yeah.
Yes. And that's one of my like favorite like legitimate like not just like oh yeah it's fun it's campy whatever. I love that title sequence. It's probably my favorite title sequence in the whole
Oh.
series, even though I hate the song. It's one of the worst theme songs in the entire franchise. Besides that though, I love the fact that they actually use the title sequence to like develop the story. It's not just like
Yeah.
a series of images of like naked women on fire or something like that. It's like
Yeah.
James Bond gets captured and tortured in a prison, and it's a good way to like using the medium that you have to show a passage of time and show like the wear on him like physically and mentally and stuff. And I think it's a really brilliant use of the traditional Bond title sequence.
Yeah, because at this point, as probably most people know, there's a formula, and to follow the formula, and then people comment. Here you had the internet. I'm assuming there was internet comment at this point. People evaluating it based on comparisons between all of them. But did you follow the formula or not?
Mhm.
It's probably a problem for ambitious movie makers in the franchise. There's not been that many, but I think you're right about that. That does make sense. Okay, well, what's this one?
Skyfall looks like.
Oh, Skyfall. All right, it's up to you to
Oh, it's me. This
do
is
what.
this is
Well, didn't I do I did Die Another Day.
You
so
did.
Yeah, you got Skyfall.
this
Which is-
this is S tier. This is the best one. This is the best Bond movie, in my opinion. This is my number
Well,
one.
I don't know. This is like we're agreeing too much. Maybe
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. This is the one to watch.
Yeah. This is this just like everything like it just kind of comes together in such a perfect way. Like you have Roger Deakins filming it, Sam Mendes directing. The writers I think were kind of like series standards, but there's somebody else. Oh, doesn't Thomas Newman do the music for this one?
Yes.
There's I feel like I don't know. I'm kind of locked up right now, even though this is my favorite one. Maybe I'm blocking. I'm choking because I can't think of like
It's a beautiful
how exactly
movie.
I want to say it.
It's
Yeah.
just lovely in every single
Yes.
setting.
Yeah.
Very
There's so much
wildly-
great cinematography. Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned Deakins.
Yeah.
Like, it's just unbelievably different from the Moore movies. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Javier
Yeah.
Bardem is in it as the
Mhm.
villain.
Awesome. I love a good I think something that like watching these movies in sequence like so close together has I looked at them in a different way than ever before, because you really notice the ones that do something different.
Yeah.
And I mean I've seen this one a few times before. It's not like this was like my first or second time watching this one. But it's like the fact that the bad guy is doing all this literally because he wants to kill M. That's his end goal. He wants to kill M. He wants to get revenge for her like using and throwing him away as an agent. It's like at this point in the series, I'm like, that is so much more interesting to me than like the 30th bad guy who wants to like, you know, steal all the nukes and sell them to the highest bidder, and then he's gonna make $1 billion. He's like, no, he just wants to kill her because he hates her so much. I love that. That's so cool. It's so like it's so personal, and
Yeah.
It makes him so much more interesting as a villain, like that personal tie. And yeah, he's great. Yeah, cinematography's great. The story's great. I love the opening sequence, and the ending with him getting shot is a yeah, I don't know. I don't know where to go with it, even though it is my favorite one. But
yeah. I think it's definitely in the top 3. It'd be hard to even say it. And, that's a remarkable thing about this. Here they're 50-some years into the franchise. The Craig Bonds, it's not Craig doing it. No, it's other people, but they are the ones that sort of change things quite a bit. To finally have the headquarters attacked and Bond hunted down. I mean, it took them 20-some movies to get to this spot where, like, if you watch the first Mission Impossible, it takes, like, the first act. There's a double cross.
Yeah.
Right, that's the CIA.
Yeah.
For the Bond movies, it takes them 20 movies, like 20-some movies to get to anything like that, which was obviously easy tension, I think, in a movie.
Well, unless you count World's Not Enough. It's not as, like, it's not as substantial as this one, but there is just gunfights and attacks and stuff. But
yeah.
But I see what you mean.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that. That was the one I was going to fight for.
Yeah.
Actually, that's probably the only one I fight for. That's definitely S tier in my opinion.
Yeah, no, that's like an easy like that, and that was the last one that I watched because I knew it was my favorite. So I was like, I need to save a good one for the end, and I'm glad that it, still holds up, and yeah.
Everybody should check that one out. Okay, so now we're at the last. This is the final Roger Moore movie.
No, he did.
Oh, this is A View to a Kill, isn't it?
Oh,
no, I got the wrong one. What is this one?
That's For Your Eyes Only.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I wanted to do For a View to Kill. Okay, I hate this one. It's terrible. I can't stand it. Especially because it comes after, if I remember correctly, The Spy Who Loved Me and Moonraker, which I like Jaws. I like some stupid stuff in there. In those movies. This one just didn't do it for it. I don't have much to say about it. I think the music is not great, and I just wanted to rip this one apart. So for me, it's a D. I don't know what you think, but
that's fine. I would it's probably in like C for me, but it's not one that like I cared enough. This might be the one that even though like I didn't hate this movie, like I think I have it at like a 5 out of 10. It's probably the one that out of any of these I remember the least about.
That's my problem here. I'm trying to be specific, and I cannot. I'm even looking at my review, and I can't. I mean, I'm trying to remember this movie. That's how forgettable it is. All of the posters extremely sexualized.
Yeah.
Probably half these are extremely sexualized posters, but anyway. Okay, I don't want to talk about that. That one's just here's another Brosnan for you. The World Is Not Enough.
World's Not Enough. Man, we're really filling up B. But
I'm just putting it there for now.
No, I know, but I'm like, it's somewhere B or C. I used to. This was one that I also used to love. This was, I think I had to have seen GoldenEye first, but this was the one that like maybe we had this one on tape or whatever. But this one I remembered like watching a ton, as a kid. And I've watched it a couple times as an adult, and it's both times it's been a little disappointing. But that said, I'm like, with that like how I said I was like differentiating between B and C. Would I watch it again? Um, I probably would personally,
Mm.
but only just barely. Yeah, I'll say like the bottom of B, but I guess B for now. But yeah,
Okay.
again, this is one where if we got to move something, I am okay bumping it down to C.
Okay. Yeah, it's the second. Is it the second
This is the third
Brosnan movie?
one.
The third one. Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. The third one.
Yep.
It's pretty serious if I remember this movie correctly. It's less cartoony campy.
Yeah.
It got all the stuff like there's boat chases and plane chases and everything else. I
Mhm.
came to it and it was Michael Apted who's done the Up
Did the Up
series.
series? Yeah.
I thought it was going to be way better than the internet aggregate ratings and because of him, but it turned out it's not.
Mhm.
So, and then this has John Cleese becoming Q,
Oh yeah, this is the last
isn't
Desmond
it?
Llewellyn one. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think
Which
he has a goodbye
he
moment in
does.
it.
Yeah.
Desmond Llewellyn is
Which
Q,
does
but
kind of get me because I do love him in the series.
I kind of I kind of wanted Cleese to continue in the Craig stuff, but obviously they
Yeah,
cut him out.
that could have been interesting. See how he could have tied in. But I do something I do like about this one is I think this is maybe the first, maybe the only Bond movie with what I consider, even though they try to frame it the same way as other that Robert Carlyle's the main bad guy. I consider Elektra to be the main villain in this, and I think that's this might be the only Bond movie that has a female lead villain. I think. I guess that's cool.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I guess I didn't think of it. I thought, yeah,
because it's her plan. Right. She's the one in charge of everything. She's funding everything. He's just like in love with her. So
yeah.
He's essentially the superhuman sidekick, like Jaws or Oddjob, because he's the one who's like has superpowers and doesn't feel anything. So he's kind of the henchman, really. It's just he dies second.
I don't know if that's the '90s Bonds trying to respond to the anti-feminism of the Bond movies, and then here you go with the more of a female villain, and then they stop doing that. Maybe they'll do that in the next. I have no idea. All right, we got a B tier on that. Wait, yeah, B tier on that one. Yeah. The next one, From Russia with Love. Man, this is tough because I thought this was the best movie as a kid. And I'm talking like 12 years old. So what did I know then?
Yeah.
And I rewatched it. It's got some padding in it to me. There's a whole belly dance sequence. And I think it has the most, I didn't count, but the most like double entendre / sexist remarks of all the Bond movies. Like there's one every 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I didn't dig the plot here. Again, I just watching it, I was surprised I didn't care for it as much. So I had it in B tier.
Okay.
Did you have it a lot higher or not?
No.
Okay.
It's for I'm gonna this is what I mean how like there's so many examples of like why I feel like I'm at a complete odds with like the general Bond fandom where like I think like in general Sean Connery has like the worst movies. Like his the worst batch of movies. I do not like the staleness of his movies. So this is like a maybe C or D tier.
Okay. There are some. I know that people watching. They're staunch defenders of this. They love this. This is one of the best, and I could not get that. I thought. I just don't. I think you're right about Terrence Young.
Yeah, he's the big problem.
I mean, just I hate John Glenn more, but he is not the most beautiful director of beautiful things, and so
everything's beige and like just I don't know. Everything's shot in like the same looking rooms. I remember this one in particular bothered me because like it ended and maybe this is like this is only the second movie, so this is kind of before a lot of the series standards were like really set in stone, which I always like looking at that stuff with like first sequels in franchises before stuff is like, well, it's a Bond movie, so you got it. Here's the checklist. This is only the second one, so it's not like they're exactly doing that. But there's like, I just remember the ending being really sloppy, where I was literally like, oh, that was the finale. Oh, I guess he did kill the bad guy there, and I just totally missed it. So it was just kind of like that kind of like in the end just kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. I was like, yeah.
Well, I will see about Connery. I'm curious about how this is.
They're
going
not all bad
movies. He was, of course, the most iconic one and the one to compare everybody else to. And then all these film critics who watched the 60s, 70s, that's what they like. Nobody's like Connery. So I think you and I grew up slightly differently and have different views. We'll see who the best Bond is later on. Oh, speaking of Connery, okay, the next one is Never Say Never Again. So I'll let you opine on this weird one.
Yeah. So this is I swear, like if we have any Connery or Bond fans watching this, I am not trolling. I'm not doing this on purpose. Never Say Never Again is A tier for me. I really like this movie. Put it
up there. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's where I would put it. I think I have I would agree that I think Goldfinger is the best Sean Connery movie. But this is probably the one that I would watch the most. Like I would probably pick this over Goldfinger. Maybe. I don't know. I do really like Goldfinger. But it was so plus like watching this after watching Thunderball, which I don't think I had ever seen prior to watching this, being like, oh, this is a remake of that? Does this one suck? But this one was one of like 2 or 3 that we had on DVD. So I watched this one a lot as a kid. But it shows that you can like, if you have a director who's like maybe a little more interesting than fucking Terrence Young, you can tell the same story, but like better. Cause I think like it is, it's, it follows the same beats and all that, but it's just so much more interesting at every instance. Like the bad guy, Largo, in the old one, he's like the older guy with like the eye patch, and he's the very classic, like, oh, Mr. Bond. Blah, blah, blah. And in this, he's like this crazy, eccentric German guy.
Yes.
And then the sidekick is Fatima Blush, who is awesome. She's just crazy. She in her scene where she dies, she has Bond at gunpoint and is like trying to force him to like put in writing that she was the best like sex that he's ever had in his life. and then he throws a pen at her and she explodes. I'm like,
yeah. Okay, 8. So the letterbox is 2.7 out of 5 on this.
Yeah, I'm like people. I'm always like everybody. I don't like to like force my I'm just like this is how I feel about these movies. Everybody has their own opinions. Art is subjective and all that. But after like going through these movies, I'm like, no, everybody else is wrong about all the Bond movies. I'm correct. Everybody else is wrong. They're watching these movies wrong.
This one has Klaus Maria Brandauer. I think that's who you're talking about. Who's a very good actor, and like Christopher Lee, it's like, oh, there's something interesting about this. Quite a bit about.
So he's actually trying, yeah.
And then Max von Sydow's Blofeld.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
which Blofeld. Is a strange, but it's okay. This one to me, Connery's too old, but he's trying to be like 1 up or 10 up Roger Moore.
Yeah.
And like, I'm masculine.
That was definitely there, yeah.
Doesn't he take his shirt off like 8 times?
Naturally.
It's like, it is a really masculine, like for the early 80s, it's like he's right there with Sylvester Stallone and Rambo and Schwarzenegger going to start out right now. And Connery is right there with him, just as a much older guy. It's way better than Thunderball, and this is the Thunderball to watch. I think you're right.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
And to that point, though, they do, which they don't do in that many, especially not the Roger Moore ones. They do like say that he's older. It's not like they're trying to hide it in this. Like he
Yes,
goes through like physical therapy to like
at the
get back in the
beginning.
saddle and
Yeah, he's too old for
uh
this. He's got to get trained. That's
yeah.
right. Yeah.
So, props for that. It's not like A View to a Kill where Roger Moore's like, no, I'm 35 years old.
Right, right. Yes, exactly. Yeah. The next one is License to Kill. I don't. Why is license spelled with a C? I'm very confused.
I
Anyway,
okay,
what is
license
happening
does
there?
have an S in it, right? Because
Yes,
every time I
it
search
does.
this movie, I'm like, that's not how that word is
The
spelled,
British
right?
spelling is that the book.
Maybe.
I don't think the book title. I think this one is going away for first time from Ian Fleming, who wrote obviously the books. I don't think there's a License to Kill book. But I think this is a
It
British
is
spelling.
a UK. Yeah, it's just how they spell
Yeah.
it. Weird. Okay.
Bond goes rogue here.
Mm-hmm.
The first time. Well, I think it's the first. I think he gets fired in one of
Yep.
them. I can't remember before this. He goes rogue and he's going to do his own thing and get revenge.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, they don't do the thing where the British government, MI is going to come after him and hunt him down.
They kind of
They
do.
do it a little bit, but not
Yeah.
enough for me. Of course, then I don't know if that's a Cold Warrior thing where you let the tough guy Cold Warrior go and let him do his thing, where later you're going to have the CIA's nefarious or whatever, MI's nefarious, and hunt down the guy after the Cold War's over. The 90s would be more would do that more, but this is okay. Timothy Dalton, it's the better of the two Timothy Dalton
For
movies.
sure. 100%.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's I don't have it high, but I didn't hate it, so it's just, I would put it in C tier.
Ah, damn. Okay.
Would you put it higher?
This is S tier for me as well.
You love it.
I love this one. Well,
Oh,
okay,
tell.
okay, we're going relative for Bond, right? So this
Yes.
could be an A tier for me.
Between the Bonds.
But yeah, I really, really like this one. Much like how I said with Skyfall, I like it anytime that they do something different. So again, the fact that this was just like Felix Leiter gets like the shit beat out of him and then his wife gets killed, and it's just Bond goes off the rails. He's not trying to save the world or anything. He just wants to get revenge for his friend. And I like that that different take that he's actually like infiltrating their organization. You don't really see, for him being a world-class spy, you don't ever see Bond do a lot of like spy stuff where he's undercover, that doesn't happen that often in this franchise, but he plays a part in in Franz Sanchez's like drug empire. And also I loved Benicio del Toro in this.
Yeah, very
great. And there's some really good like scenes of like tension where like it's so funny watching this franchise. You realize how like just like how like little effort a lot of these movies put into the filmmaking. And then like you watch like a good action movie and you're like, oh, they're using the media, they're using these different film elements to like add tension and like these good things that like good filmmakers do. And there's a little bit of that in this, where like a scene in particular that I loved is where they're at like the manufacturing plant at the end, and Benicio del Toro has already seen him as Bond, but they're like wearing the masks because there's like the gaseous fumes from the chemicals that they're making or whatever. And so he has a mask on, and Benicio del Toro is like looking at him like, I think I know that guy. But he's like keeping the mask on, and then they have to like take the mask off eventually. And he's just like hoping that he doesn't recognize him. And then of course he eventually does.
Yeah.
And then it's also the most brutal one. There's some brutal deaths, like Benicio's death in this, where he's like slowly ground up in that like rock grinder thing, or the guy that gets like locked in that depressurization tank and he explodes.
That's a shocking one. It is more cruel. I don't know if cruel is the right word. Yes,
could be,
harsher.
Yeah,
which is trying to fit, I think, with the Dalton persona.
Mm-hmm.
I do not like, as I already said, I like the cartoony stuff. So Dalton is a very different flavor from the more cartoony Bonds, and that That's probably why one
Yeah.
of the reasons why I don't gravitate. The other one is John Glenn, who I won't rant about right now. I
No,
think we could let's
I
put this up in B as a comp. You said S tier, right?
I would put, yeah, this is my, if we're delineating by like where they are in our ranking, this is my number 5. So this would, I think, be I think that would put it like on the edge of S tier. Yeah.
Well, halfway in between is sitting right there at the top of B. I think we'll move, we'll be moving.
Be
We'll
around.
negotiating a little bit.
Yeah.
I think what we're saying here is relative to all the bonds relative to each other. A lot of them are in the middle.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
they all kind of do. And maybe that's why the Bond marathon works. You're like, it doesn't matter where you start or where you.
True.
And
Yeah.
you're just like watching similar stuff, which of course it's formulaic anyway.
Yeah.
Here's the next one. You got a Connery one. I'm
You
sorry.
I like talking about stuff that I hate, but
You only live twice, according to this one.
I will say I honestly, like, I don't remember much about this one. I know it's the one where he goes to Japan. There's this one is the one where you finally meet Blofeld, Donald Pleasance. That's
First
fun.
of all, let's say this is written by Roald Dahl.
Yes, yeah. Weird. So weird. I always forget about that. That's so strange. Let's see. Probably C. Yeah. It's on the higher end of the Sean Connery ones. There's, I like, as far as, it's in the upper half. I'll just say that. But honestly, like, and that's probably because of those really it has, like, you watch this one, you're like, oh my god, this is like what 90% of Austin Powers is based off of.
Yes,
like,
so
Donald Pleasance is.
If you want to watch the first Austin Powers, you watch this movie to get the first one. Yeah,
100%. Yeah. Because he looks exactly like, down to like the scar on his face and like what he's wearing. His, like, the lair, the like volcano layer. And I like that, like, I thought the layer was really good. Like, that was a really good, really elaborate, like, set design. There's a lot going on there. It was really big. Like, again, just from like a technical standpoint, I thought that was really cool. Much more interesting than the endless square wood paneled rooms from the previous Sean Connery movies. But it is still a a Sean Connery movie, so I didn't think it was that great.
He's got a terrible haircut in this when he tries to dress up as a Japanese male. It makes no sense anymore. I mean, terrible, also terrible space effects in this, if I remember correctly. I agree with you. It's like, it's okay. I kind of liked it better as a kid, but we'll put it over here, and I'm gonna put it ahead of Living Daylights. But there you go. C tier.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay, I think I did finally get A View to a Kill. Is
you
that
did,
what this
yeah.
one is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm curious about what you say here. I actually did. I was shocked because it's John Glenn and the final Roger Moore movie. Which, what is he, like 55 at this point?
I think he's 57. I think I checked. He's 57.
This the one where I don't think this is the one where like a teenage girl wants to bed him and he says no.
No,
I don't think
that's For Your Eyes Only. I think
that's For Your Eyes Only. Okay. I actually like this one better. Letterboxd is 2.9 out of 5, which is not good, obviously. There's something about this that is kind of fun, I thought. So Christopher Walken and Grace Jones is a weird pair.
Yeah, I liked them, though.
I like Duran Duran. I'm not really sure. I
like the song. Yeah,
it's pretty kind of okay.
Yeah.
So I did kind of like this sort of. It kind of recapitulates some of Goldfinger, if I remember. I mean, I think he's gonna blow up. Is he gonna blow up Silicon Valley?
Yes. Yeah. He's gonna like trigger like earthquakes or something. That's gonna like
to increase the value,
break the dams or something
of his
like that.
Microchip industry that he wants to. That's what. It is. Yeah. I thought when he was captured, Bond was captured, and it was in Christopher Walken's estate. It was kind of cool. Is this A? I did put this in A. Now that's okay. I would never. This movie is not that good, but relative to other movies. But I did actually like it. So, what did you think about this?
I didn't. I know that this one is another one that's considered like one of the worst, and I would not say that at all. I think this one suffered. This is one that I would almost want to like give another chance outside of a marathon, because I think this suffered a lot from just fatigue of me like watching all these. Because what I ended up, I was mostly watching this in sequence, but there was a point like halfway through the Roger Moore ones where I'm like, I have to watch Casino Royale. I have to watch like Daniel Craig Casino Royale. I have to watch a good Bond movie. I've been
Oh,
watching like
totally.
just this boring stuff for so long. So then I ended up kind of jumping around. So this was, I mean, this is already like 15 movies in or something, but I probably watched it even later. So I think it kind of was hurt by me, it being one of the later ones that I watched. But I thought it was fun. I liked Grace Jones and Christopher Walken. I like the turn that Mayday has near the end where she ends up like helping them out. And
Yeah.
there's the part where she dies because she has to like on the little like minecart thing, she has to like push it out before like the bomb goes off. And I was actually like, no, like I was like, you should live. I felt, I also I was really surprised and impressed that that poster image of him like on the Golden Gate Bridge and fighting Christopher Walken's like in the blimp. I was really surprised that was like in the movie. I thought that was just like one of those things where a poster artist is given like, hey, you got to make the draw the poster for the new Bond movie. It's they go to San Francisco in it. Come up with something, and he's just like, okay, I'll do this. But it's like almost like stripped like from a frame. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think Letterboxd users should reconsider this one. I think you're right about the fatigue, though. I watched them chronologically, 26 movies in like 30 days, which is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, it was on the treadmill, so it helped. But this, like, the more movies, like, they're. I got fatigue around Octopussy and For Your Age, those early 80s ones.
Yeah.
This one was a breath of fresh air in contrast to those for me.
Nice.
The next one, it looks like you're getting, is this Spectre? Yes, this is Spectre. So the third Daniel Craig movie, correct?
Yeah.
All right, I'm putting it here, but you put it wherever you want.
What
I'm just dumping it right there.
This was probably the third time I've seen it. And I think the other times, I kind of had it like right down the middle. But this time, for some reason, it just like well, I did that. I did like it clicked. It like anti-clicked for me. I hated this movie watching it this time. I did. Yeah, this is an easy D tier.
Oh wow.
Yeah. This is
Sam Mendes. You like Skyfall. I like Skyfall. Yeah. I love it. I mean, now this is the movie after that, isn't it? And so
yeah,
it should be just as good. No.
Yeah. I think it's like well, like Skyfall just kind of works as like it was only his third one, but like I watched that and I'm like, this could have just been his last one, and it could have been a good closer. And then I feel like Spectre and No Time to Die both I feel like the last like three, maybe even all of them end like each Craig Bond ends with him being like, all right, now I'm back. Bond is officially back. I'm gonna do the thing. And then every new movie is like, oh, Bond's retired or near retirement. We got to bring him back again. And so it feels like it's kind of just like retreading old stuff. But then
yes, badly.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know, like, well, I don't think Deakins doesn't do this one, so suffers from that. But I just found this movie to be just so incredibly dull, and it's then it's I think it's the second longest one next to No Time to Die, which is understandably the longest one since it was like kind of the quote unquote last one. But like this movie starts with this what should be really impressive, like one shot scene where they're like it's like the Dia de los Muertos like celebration, and the camera like comes down
great sequence. Absolutely
in the crowd, and
yes,
it's probably the most memorable sequence of the movie. But when it ended, I was just like, whatever. I was like, I was so just like unimpressed, and like if even that, which is like a technically impressive sequence is leaving me kind of like ho hum. Like that's not a good sign for the rest of the movie. And then Blofeld shows up, and it feels so like. So I didn't know this until going through them now, that like the reason that they didn't have Spectre or all that is because of the whole like the legality dispute, like why there was Never Say Never Again, because that's Never Say Never Again is not Eon, it's I think it's MGM.
Yes,
because it was like a guy owned the rights to the books or something like that, but not the movie. It's one of those weird legal things. So Eon couldn't use Spectre or Blofeld for like it was like 20 or 30 years, and it was right after Skyfall where they got the rights back to it. And now in this one they're like, Blofeld's like, aha, it was actually me all along, I was doing, and it just feels really sloppy, just like shoving that into the Craig movies like over halfway through them. So I didn't like that either.
This is great. This is where I made a list here in this review. So on Letterboxd, and this will help sort of codify some of the formulaic nature of all the Bond movies. Most of them do what I'm going to read right now. Spectre goes back to the Bond formulas. That's, I think, Casino Royale, Skyfall, that stuff, that's kind of undoing or doing differently at least. So we go back to the naked female silhouettes in the opening credits. Those are in every single one up until the Craig movies, and then kind of stop it for 2 or 3 movies. Bond looking at a woman for 5 seconds and seducing her, and then sex right after. Male fantasy stuff. Elaborate chase sequence at a mountain ski resort.
Oh yeah.
God,
it's so weird how much that happens in these movies.
Ski resorts. Unbelievable. Bond believing he's anonymous when he infiltrates someplace, then he gets his cover blown real quickly.
I know.
He's the worst at that. I don't know why they do that every time. It means he's an inept spy, but
that's just another example of how he's not a spy. He like rarely does spy stuff well.
Absolutely, all the time. He gets tracked and bugged by the Brits. I think everybody tracks him. Bond rescues a female. She hates him for a while, and then, you know what's going to happen. Bond in a fist fight on a speeding train with a sidekick villain.
Who was
happened from Russia with Love, the second one.
Yeah, that's right, with Robert Shaw. Yeah.
Bond visiting supervillain, a secretive, awesome-looking remote lair that probably costs more than the yearly GDP of the UK. Bond being tortured by the supervillain and yet somehow breaking out of his inescapable imprisonment. Of course, Austin Powers has a ton of fun with that stuff. Bond piloting every vehicle you can think of as awesomely as possible. Helicopter, sports car, airplane, and, of course, a boat chase.
Yeah.
How many boat chases in this series? 8, 10, 15?
I don't know.
I mean, I just lose count after.
There was another thing that reminds me. Another thing I noticed is like, a lot, I want to say at least half of these movies end with Bond specifically adrift at sea, making out with a lady.
And it's making out, presumably after the sex act, but maybe before. I don't know. It's the chaste Playboy version of stuff that Bond is. It's like, we're not going to show anything, but you can imagine. Yes, you're right. I think Moonraker ends at every single one.
Yeah.
More male fantasy, and I thought they would stop that at this point, but they didn't, so whatever. Okay, on to the next one. I think I'm up.
Yep.
This is Tomorrow Never Dies. Okay. I think I'm gonna have to justify myself here. I really like this one.
Okay.
I thought it was good. And how good is relative to the Bond series. Jonathan Pryce plays a cartoony villain, a media mogul who is a super villain and going to control the world and start a war like in Citizen Kane, but William Randolph Hearst style, all that stuff. I think Bond becomes a Marine here. Is that right? I can't remember exactly.
Marine,
Terry Hatcher's in this. Joe Don Baker again. I kind of like this because it's super cartoony and somewhat campy, and I just kind of enjoyed the lightheartedness of this. So I put this an A.
Oh, okay. Dang.
I don't know. What did you? Are you warm to
I
this one or not?
it's the weakest of the Brosnan ones for me. I would probably do like C, but
Okay.
you know, uh, I've
And Diana.
I'm a general defender of Brosnan, so I'm not gonna be angry
Yeah,
about it.
okay.
You know.
I I agree with you. Pick your Brosnan. He's gonna do over the top double entendres and look sexy, but be tough and kind of try to be more than. I think he's more than Connery. Um, okay, I'll give it
Yeah.
away. I think Brosnan fits in any of these movies as the lead.
Ooh. Okay.
I think he could play the lead
Think
in the
he could
Connery
pull
movies
off
and the
any?
Moore
Yeah.
movies, even in the Dalton ones.
Sure. Yeah.
Whereas anybody else who's a Bond cannot
Mm.
necessarily be in any of the other ones.
I could see that.
I
That'd
don't
be
know if he
cool.
could be
Yeah.
in the Craig ones really, but
Those are so different than like everything that came before him. Yeah.
yeah.
It's a little hard to say.
So I think we're a little bit different on the Brosnans, but we generally like them relative to the Bonds.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I don't know if this is good for you or not. You got No Time to Die. The very last one made.
Yeah, I think the Daniel Craig's movies are so they're the most like up and down for me. Where like I think he has two of the best, two of the worst, and then this one is in like the extreme middle. Which is good. You know, it could have been so much worse, all things considered. But I will say it is hurt quite a bit for me by so much of it being reliant on Spectre, which I do not like. So much of the story of this is like it's doing the thing where it's like, oh yes, you know, Spectre and Blofeld are this huge thing. They're really important, and like also the thing I hate with Spectre that they make in the Daniel Craig ones that they make Blofeld is like or Bond is like his adoptive brother, and that's why he hates him because like his dad preferred James Bond. I'm like, just let Blofeld be a bad guy. Like he doesn't have to have a reason to hate Bond. He just hates him because he's the bad guy, and Bond is the good guy. Just do that. But I like the bad guy. You know, what's his name? Rami Malek. Feels more like a classic, you know, disfigured Bond villain. That's fun. But there's a lot of like cliche stuff that I don't like, and cliche in like not the fun way that like because the series can be very cliche, but I think that's fun or whatever. So I would say with where we're at now, like I would say maybe low B, but I'm thinking maybe put it in the C for now.
Put in the C.
Unless are we gonna do any? I don't know. It would maybe be B. I don't know.
We're gonna have to move something out of B, and F tier is not even. Maybe we just haven't got. Well, we haven't gotten to a couple of the really good ones. Obviously,
you know what? Put it in B for now. Because put it in B for now.
I'll put it up here. We'll move it around.
Yeah.
I know it's like yeah. Yeah.
It's tough because like it would be nice if it was better since it's like the finale, but again I'm glad that it's not terrible. I'm glad that it wasn't Spectre 2. Like it's so much better than that movie in my opinion.
Yeah. I can get down with that. All right, that's good. Up next is I have trouble with this.
Yeah, you're getting something that I wish I had.
On Her Majesty's Secret Service, real oddball of a movie because they cast an unknown actor, George Lazenby from Australia.
Yeah,
rugged looking guy compared to Sean Connery, so we get those comparisons. The reason I was excited to watch this was because I saw Steven Soderbergh say like this has the best. I think the best action sequences, and he rewatches this movie regularly. Apparently, like of all the Bonds, this is the one. And of course, he gets married in this movie, and spoiler alert, she dies at 60 years old. So I don't care to spoil it.
Yeah,
I didn't love it like I thought I would because of what I heard, but I can definitely put this up in A, maybe S, because of the slight, actually substantial differences from the prior Connery ones, and a little bit more tender sort of movie, and it does have some good
Hmm.
action sequences overall. So I'm I think this is okay. I don't know. I'll put it in S.
Okay,
I think this is good, and compared to those S tier or those A tier movies, I actually do like it better than them. So,
sweet.
what do you think?
I would probably either S or A. Yeah,
Okay.
it's up there for me too. Um, especially watching it, yeah, right after the Connery ones. It's like it's such a breath of fresh air. Like not only to have a different guy, because as far as like I say that I don't like the Sean Connery movies. Sean Connery himself, I'm fine with. You know, he's like the best aspect of his own movies.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
I like him, but it's still like it was nice seeing someone different. And I ended up loving George Lazenby in this movie.
Okay.
I really like his portrayal. Um, I like how different he is. Like it's nice that like from the jump, the first time they cast a different guy as Bond with George Lazenby here, it's like there's a popular fan theory. I'm sure you've heard that like the James Bond 007 is just a code name and it's not actually like the same guy. Like
All right.
every time there's a new actor,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be a different person. And like from this, it's like it doesn't that it seems like that's what they're going for. Like he's not even really like trying to play. He's not playing Sean Connery James Bond. He's just playing a spy guy that happens
Hmm.
to have the same name as him. And um, but beyond his performance, I thought uh the other thing that I like was noticing a lot with this one is the again it has some like interesting like filmmaking to it, which a lot of those Connery ones do not.
Yes.
Like I remember there's a scene where he's like in bed with maybe it's Diana Rigg or maybe it's one of those all the ladies up in the like the snow base or whatever, and there's like this cool like purplish like lighting going on around their heads, and just it's funny like it's like this series is can tend to be, especially these older ones, very uninteresting as far as the filmmaking goes, that like any sort of like
Yes.
different thing that goes on, any interesting thing that happens with a camera shot
Oh,
or something, I'm like, oh my god, they tried something here.
right.
uh
Yeah, because you're in it for like 4 or 5 hours of these Bond movies, and all of a sudden, oh, there, finally something of interest.
yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
yeah, yeah. um
I I
yeah.
like this movie, but I do want Connery in it. I'm a Connery guy.
Oh, okay.
I like him as an actor, and I think he would be knock this one out of the park. So I didn't love Lazenby,
Oh, okay.
but
i
I think
I wanted to see more Lazenby movies.
yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah,
Well, maybe AI can do that for you.
yeah.
Yeah. Um,
I
I
also
think we're.
watched the
Go ahead.
Becoming Bond too. I watched that just the other day, which is
What is
there's
that? A
it's
documentary?
it's a documentary about this movie specific, or about like
Mm,
George Lazenby and like getting cast in this movie. It's pretty crazy
I
because
wouldn't
he was
guess
like,
though. He's like out of nowhere. They picked this
yeah,
guy to be in this big franchise, money making franchise. It
he
is
was
really interesting.
he was like a car salesman, and then he like somebody noticed him in a bar or something, and he ended up being like a model, and then he basically like lied to the producers about having like a history of like acting credits, and that was I don't know, it's a pretty wild story. I would
Isn't
recommend
that wild? Yeah.
it's pretty fun. It's
Well, maybe you and I have a shot at the next Bond role based on that.
yeah, I guess, yeah, yeah.
We know. Um, all right. The next up, you're getting another Craig movie. It's just the
Ooh.
luck of the draw. Is Quantum of Solace.
Hmm.
No one knows what this means.
Yeah.
Second Craig movie. What do you think of Quantum?
Um, this is one where I sit where it's like it's definitely not good, but I don't think it's like I don't think it's as bad as most people. I think it's like fine. It would maybe I'm like thinking maybe C tier for me, maybe D. Um, it's I don't know. It's not. I like it more than Spectre. Um, but there's no way it's above C. I can say that. I'll I'll say I'll say C. I have a fair amount underneath it, so I feel like
Okay.
that pushes it out for me personally. But I also don't have a whole lot to say about it. Like it's kind of dull. I think some of the action is kind of
Really
cool.
short. I
Really
mean,
short, yeah.
it's one of the shortest. It's 100 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, it is. It might actually be the shortest one, which maybe that's why I was a little softer on it because at this point I was just I just wanted to get through them all. So like, oh, thank God it's under 2 hours. I do not. This speaking of directors, though, I do not like. I mean, this is the only Bond movie he's done. But Mark Forster did this, and I've seen enough of his movies to like I had established prior to watching it for this that like he is one of the least interesting directors. Where like I've seen multiple things of his. So he
Famous
notable
movie.
ones. This World War Z, Finding Neverland, Kite Runner. I think those
Stranger
are all
Than
the ones that I've
Fiction.
seen. Oh, he did Stranger Than Fiction. Okay,
Yeah.
I do like Stranger Than Fiction.
Christopher Robin.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all to say that a Bond movie is not really a thing he's done much of, that kind of thing.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it kind of suffers from just like not having in my opinion not a great director behind it, and it's trying to I think that it's trying to like follow up on like a big part of this is like it tries to do kind of the license to kill thing where Bond is on like a quest for revenge after Vesper dies at the end of the previous one. And it's like, okay, and they're trying something a little different, but then like halfway through it just turns into they're like, okay, well, okay, we know you're angry, but we need you to, do your normal stuff and stop this guy. And then it does just kind of he's just kind of like, okay, all right, I'll go do my job now. So it just kind of turns into a normal one after that, sort of.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
got yeah. I don't know.
I use this. I think this movie is okay in the slow spots and horrific in the action sequences where it's so over edited.
Yeah.
It's really not meant for human consumption, in my opinion. I use it as an example in film class. It's like it's so many shots, like 10 shots in a second sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And just flashes by. I don't that's not my style for sure of action movies. So anyway, I can see it and see that's fine. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I've only got 6 more here. Is this Goldfinger? This is Goldfinger.
Yep.
Well, I came to the boring conclusion that this was a very good movie. I didn't want to. I thought I would have different views of it after watching Dr. No from Russia with Love and then hitting this one. Thought, well, maybe. I remember liking the mythical quality of this movie as a kid. He goes to Fort Knox and captured by Goldfinger. The golf sequence. I was a golfer. Right?
Yeah.
The girl. This is an interesting one because Bond fails with the girls, with the ladies.
Yeah.
They die. 2 of them die on him.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a third, but he gets pussy galore, which is one of the worst double entendres you can have.
Is that even a double entendre?
It's like... not even a double. It's just an entendre.
It's like it's funny because like you think of like again the Austin Powers movies and there's like a lot of vagina
and that's not
like,
even
it's not even as bad as this.
That's not even it's on par with it. It's not... and so he's captured. He's like a prisoner in half of this movie. And I actually appreciate it. I thought it was like a good mix of like semi-serious spycraft, not really, cartoonishness, a little camp, a little mythical stuff, Odd Job as a sidekick villain. It still worked for me. I enjoyed it, so I'm putting it up there in S tier.
Yeah, I can't argue with that.
Is that okay for you? Or were you lower on this?
It's for me. I have it's in my A range, but I'm not mad with that being an S tier. That's that is one of like the most objectively like, yeah, you watch that one, you're like, yep, I get why this one is like maybe the most famous one in like the whole series. It's got all the, I think it has, if you were to show, if you wanted to show somebody like what is James Bond or what is like classic James Bond, you show them the opening to this movie where
Yeah.
it's like 4 minutes long, and it's just, you get to see him do some spy stuff. You get to see him like hitting on a lady. You get a quick like fist fight, and then he kills the guy, and he does a, I think that's where the guy's like in the tub, and he like drops something in there, and he like shocks him, and then he goes absolutely shocking, and then you just get, and then just the hard cut to the blaring horns of the theme song. I was like, yeah, it's a great closer. It's like,
yeah. I thought that was a boring conclusion on me, but what I got. The next one, I mean, so people, I think if just applause, Skyfall, Goldfinger, we'll probably have a couple, maybe another one in there. Like those are the ones out of 20 some. If you're gonna watch any James Bond, probably those.
Yeah.
Just this one being classic, and it's hard to argue against it being pretty good at least. Live and Let Die is the next one.
Okay, this is another one. I might actually, I don't know if this what the general consensus is on this one, but I like this one.
Letterboxd is 3.2, so it's okay.
I think that's in the middle, yeah, for this series. Where do I have this one? Where is it? I think I just went right over it. Okay, yeah. I think for me, this one's in B. This one is like a solid B.
Well, I think we're to the point where we should move something up or down. So if you want to bump something up or down, go for it.
Ooh.
If you can see it.
Okay, there's definitely stuff I want to. Okay, if I get to make the decision, I want to bump License to Kill up.
He's going. Okay, there you go. Well, I got View to a Kill, so License to Kill is an A tier. This is gonna. Yeah, there you go. Live and Let. Is it at the beginning or the end of the B tier for you? Or like, where is it at in this?
It's geez, technically it might, I don't know. It's so weird looking at this like, this is what it's making me question because I'm just looking at my like ranked list, and like, but like looking at how they are here, I'm like, it doesn't feel like technically this is number 10 for me, so technically it's A tier. But then I look at this list, and I'm like, based on what we have here, I'm like, that doesn't feel right to me. It feels like a B tier movie to me. So I'm still putting it there. So, you know, I somewhere in the middle to higher end of it.
Okay. This is the first Roger Moore movie.
Yes,
and it is as I said earlier, this is a leaning into popular styles of popular film forms, a blaxploitation movie.
Yeah, weirdly
but also
enough,
like a Southern Goober chase movie too.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Bond Goes America and meets the rednecks.
Yeah, Sheriff J.W. Pepper. And something it's funny, like going from the Sean Connery ones into this. There's this one, and then Man with the Golden Gun, and both of these movies are so low stakes compared to all the other ones. Where, you know, he's going up against Blofeld, who wants to like end the world or whatever, and this one is literally just like, it's just like a heroin operation. Like, yeah, I mean, they're bad guys, but they're not trying to destabilize any nation's economies. They're just manufacturing heroin.
Yeah.
And yeah, sure, you know, stop that. You know, don't do that. But yeah, I like Yaphet Kotto as the bad guy. I think he's fun.
Love him as an actor. Yep, absolutely.
He's great. This was another one. This was one of the ones that I watched a ton as a kid, so I got a soft spot for this one for that reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the J.W. Pepper character comes back
in Man with the Golden Gun.
I mean, that's what I didn't realize until doing this thing, and he comes back in A Man with the Golden Gun.
Yep.
And is just completely out of place there, but
yeah,
he must have been a fan favorite or something, so they put him in that one.
Yeah, I think it's so weird that like I knew, because I watched both of those. Probably, I think those were the two Roger Moore movies that we had on tape when I was a kid. Was this and Man with the Golden Gun? So it just happened to be the ones with J.W. Pepper. And then seeing like in watching that one and they're like in Thailand or whatever, I was like, I know he's in this, but why is he in it? And then he's just like on vacation with his wife and he ends up teaming. I was like, what the hell?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
so random.
Totally right.
Yeah, it's so strange.
It is one of the strangest. A Man with a Golden Gun. I forgot to mention that there, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care for this movie that much, but I actually think it's fine in B tier because it's like it's kind of an interesting novelty in the franchise. It's
sure, yeah.
Black exploitation and James Bond, who's in. I think they're in Louisiana. Like,
yeah, because it's like
there?
Because they're like French. Like there's like voodoo. There's Baron Samedi.
There's a lot of voodoo.
Yeah.
Stuff in this, which it probably is too stereotypical for that. But anyway,
yeah.
All right. 4 more. What should we do? Diamonds Are Forever, a Connery movie.
Mm-hmm.
My sense with this one, it's 71. It comes after On Her Majesty's Secret Service with Lazenby. They bring Connery back and Guy Hamilton, who did Goldfinger. Then this is also in America, just right before Live and Let Die. It's set in Las Vegas, so you get a picture of like 1970 Las Vegas here, in the way it looks and feels. I didn't realize
I do not like that look at all.
What's that? Oh yeah,
I find it so ugly.
Gaudy ugly.
Yeah,
really. Yeah. So I was surprised. I was surprised how much camp there was in the Connery ones, which I did not remember at all, or probably didn't even know when I was a kid and teenager watching these. So this one has that. Jill St. John is in this as a. I don't know. It's
Tiffany Case, I think, or that's one of them in this one.
And there's Blofeld's in this more. I just think this is like not good stuff, and whereas I kind of appreciated the stupidity of some of You Only Live Twice, and Michael Myers does too with Austin Powers. This one is like forgettable in so many ways. So I had this in D tier.
In C? Oh, okay.
C tier.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's fine.
It's not the bottom 5, but it's not good in my opinion.
That's probably about where it is for me. I would say maybe on the. I don't know with how full B tier is. I'm not gonna
you want to
say that it needs.
You
to
would want it up a little bit. Is that what you're saying? You like this one a little bit?
Maybe I like it's. No, I mean C is probably correct. Now that I think about it, it's like so. I really like. Never Say Never Again and Goldfinger as far as the Connery ones. But this would be next after that. So it's better than like the bulk of his stuff, but it's still not nearly as good as those two, in my opinion. And but I can't argue that it is forgettable because this was another one that we had on tape. And it was one that I know I watched a bunch, but I remembered next to nothing about this movie. Watching it through this time, I hardly remembered anything about it. I remembered that there was the 2 girls that he fights at the end named Bambi and Thumper, and that was mostly it.
And the 2 gay guys who are after him. Is that this movie?
It is. Yeah. I was like, how do I not remember those guys? They're so weird. They look weird and they act weird. I do remember the last scene, like when that happened, and like he throws the guy off the boat and he explodes in midair. I was like, oh yeah, that's a great ending.
Yet another of the franchise's things where you think it's over and Bond's in bed with the girl, and then the sidekick villain or villains in this case come back and try to kill him, which Mike Myers made fun of in the second Austin Powers when Fat Bastard comes back.
Yeah.
It's just stupid fun. I think these 2 guys are way worse than Odd Job. I liked Odd Job, but
sure, yeah.
It's all whatever. Okay. Casino Royale.
Yeah. Okay, I got this one. Cool. Yeah, this is S tier for me. I don't know, it's weird talking about the Craig ones like up against all these other ones because they are so different. But it's like I don't know. They were like, let's try to do it serious for once, and they pulled it off. I love Mads Mikkelsen too, just in general.
Yeah,
and he's great as as Lashif, and I like the character of Lashif, that he's literally just like, he screwed himself because he's like addicted to gambling or whatever. So he's like, that's why he's trying to win, is because he messed up. Uh, and yeah, I don't know. It's great. I also love. I'm one of those people who likes. There's certain subgenres of movies that I'm just kind of like a sucker for. Like I love courtroom dramas, like,
Yeah.
and this is like, there's a lot of stuff where it's just, they're just playing cards at a table, and it's like something about that is just very, very engaging. And the scenes are very nice to watch. And also, another thing, just from a primitive, like, monkey brain standpoint, I love the, like, everything about the poker scenes, like where they're like the sound effects that they use for like just like the chips clacking, or like you see like Mads Mikkelsen is like flipping the chips between his fingers, or the big chunky plastic like blue and red things, the blue and red like thick plastic cards that they use for like the $500,000 and million bets. Like it's all just so like satisfying. Like I want to like touch all the stuff on the table. And so,
okay. It's so tactile for you.
Yeah, tactile. Yeah. That's what I'm looking for. So just from like a baby brain standpoint, I'm like a little like an infant, like reaching at the screen, like doing that, watching the scenes in the poker room.
Yeah, this is a good one. Most of my students who know anything about Bond, this is their favorite.
Understandable.
For sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true of Gen Z or millennials or whatever, but this one, I think they learn from definitely the first Bourne movie.
Oh yeah.
A lot.
Yes. Yeah.
And they learn probably a little bit from Mission Impossible, and even like Rounders, like a card game, how to make that tense and high stakes and make it interesting. I think you're dead right about that here. We should mention, by the way, there's a much older Casino Royale movie that I did not watch because the internet hates it, and some people think it's great, but you've seen it. It's really long. It's a parody movie.
It is really long. It's like 2.5 hours.
It's and so
unnecessary.
I was going to skip it, and I did.
I did
recommend skipping the old Casino Royale with Peter Sellers, right?
I did my homework with this, by the way. Not only did I watch the old Casino Royale, there is another version from the 50s.
Really?
It was a TV episode of Casino Royale. It's the actual first like adaptation of a Bond book, and they got an American playing Bond. And it's interesting as like a piece of movie history, but I actually have that one at the absolute bottom. It's actually under Thunderball for me. So
okay.
So
I'm glad to know.
Yeah. It's very boring in that way that you would expect like an old episode of a TV show to be. Yeah, I would say both of the other versions of Casino Royale are in the bottom tier for me. If we had those on this, they would both be in D tier.
I think they don't have Q in this one. Is that correct?
Correct, yeah.
I think it's restarting and Bond is young and making
no money penny either. Yeah.
Great noir stuff at the beginning of this movie, black and white.
Yeah, great opening. Yeah.
So I think what we're saying is like if you just want to start with the Craig movies and watch those, and a couple of those are hit or miss, but it's kind of the thing to do because to me that kicks this franchise out of the super formulaic.
Did I do
ridiculous campy? What's that?
So I just realized I think I did every single Daniel Craig movie.
Did you?
I think
that was luck.
Yeah,
total. I did not plan that. So
that's funny.
Sorry, but yeah, I was surprised. And one other thing is like sometimes when this franchises get 20 movies deep, you never know. I mean, this is one of the best ones. 20 movies in, and Skyfall too. So
yeah.
Maybe there's hope for Star Wars or something like that in the future. Maybe.
Yeah. I finally looked up. I don't remember if it was when I was watching this or one of the other ones, but traditionally it's Baccarat that they play. Like that's what they play in a lot of the old ones.
But nobody knows that game.
That's what they play in the old, right? So I ended up looking it up because it's such a heavy part of this franchise. And my God, I'm so glad that they changed it to poker for for this one because I looked up Baccarat. It is dumb. It's a stupid game.
Like
It's
just luck based.
it's entirely luck based.
Okay.
It totally changes the whole, like, you see the classic scenes of Sean Connery playing cards at the casino, and you're like, oh, it's an example of how, like, he's a skilled strategist, and he plays
Yeah.
he plays the odds whenever. But no, literally what Baccarat is two hands are dealt, one for the bank and one for the player or something. Each person is dealt two cards, and you don't it's not like, I always thought it was like blackjack where you can hit or stay or whatever. No, it's all predetermined. It's all, you get two cards, and it's like if one of the totals is like under a certain amount, they get a third card or something like that. But that's it. It's predetermined. They don't get to decide. And all that you do as a player is you decide whether you're putting money on the bank or the other person. So it's kind of like roulette.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like spinning a roulette wheel, but your only options are red and black. So it's, yeah, I'm like, I don't even know how could you make a whole movie about this, like, centered around
Yeah.
Baccarat?
It's typical roulette scenes are just here and there. I mean, they're quick.
Yeah.
You either hit it or you don't, and that's it. We're moving on. Yeah, poker is way. Of course, there's a World Series of Poker at this time too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Okay. Well, we get two more, and I'm trying to see what these are. This one is GoldenEye.
Can yeah. I almost
Go
want to
ahead.
swap these.
You want to talk about GoldenEye?
Well,
You know,
because I know you like
yeah.
Spy Who Loved Me. You like that one a lot.
Okay, I'll swap them. And
Okay.
I did play GoldenEye the game, but
Uh-huh.
it's like an all hail thing where millennials must bow to the word probably.
Yeah.
So I understand. The Spy Who Loved Me, which is the second. Am I getting this right?
Third Roger Moore.
Third Roger Moore movie. I'm looking it up here because I'm trying to get the date. 1977, Lewis Gilbert, and I did like this movie quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Probably because Gilbert has a very interesting eye here. It's like the one movie within about a span of 5 movies where I'm going, oh, that's pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That these shots. I actually, there's this. If you don't know this, that's fine. But the Sherlock miniseries with Cumberbatch. And,
yeah. Yep.
that imitates this movie.
Oh.
When they're in the planetarium.
Okay.
Here, but this movie has Jaws outside, isn't it? Like some kind of, I can't remember what it is. Some kind of laser light show hologram thing. My memory's failing me, but that's a really interesting sequence in this movie visually. And I think I like the Bond girl in this. I'm trying to remember exactly. And it's
the one. It's
too.
Anya. She's like the Russian spy, and they work together. They work off each other. Yeah.
It's got Jaws in it. Who is what he is, a mythical giant and cartoony. There's a puffer fish. No, I appreciate this movie. I thought it was good for the Bond movies, and even though it's a Moore movie and he can't do anything athletic.
Yeah.
Don't make him run. I don't know though. Like, I'm looking at these. I kind of want to bump Never Say Never Again up to A or S tier. Are you okay with that? Because I had this in S, but I'm thinking I kind of want to put that up there.
Okay.
Is that okay with you? I can't remember. Did you like this that much or not?
No, I did. If yeah, it's tough when we're like, what's the mutual best for both of us? Because
I'm happy to compromise, but
because I would personally
S and A are fine. S is pretty good. Check it out. A is okay. Check it out. But
I would personally put like Die Another Day or License to Kill above Never Say Never Again. So it's up to you. Like, if you would agree, or if you think Never Say Never Again is better than those, maybe we just keep those up there, or keep.
Well, I'd
there.
like to bump one up there, and I can't really say what I'd really like. I think we'll just do Never Say Never Again. Okay. Although, really, in that 4 to 8, 5 to 8 range, I think the top 4 movies are probably just right.
Yeah.
And then the 5 to 8 to 9 to 10 range is like whatever.
Yeah,
I have probably.
Yeah. I for me it's like the first 4 or 5 are pretty set in stone for me, and then yeah. Everything else is like, eh. Um, and that said, and I don't know if we're gonna have to do some rearranging anyways.
Okay, well,
but
Golden Knight. Yeah, we have to rearrange. Go ahead.
yeah,
Deal with it.
GoldenEye is S tier for me too. This is my
Well,
number
okay.
two. This
Well,
is number
oh,
two
it's your
to
number
Skyfall.
two.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I'll put it there.
And it's this was the one that like for the longest time was like my number one. And then I don't know if you've ever had this with like a movies or like video game franchises or whatever, where like the equivalent that I would say for video games is like Ocarina of Time was like my favorite Zelda game for the longest time. It was like what got me into the franchise.
Yeah.
It's a classic, it is great. But then with this, it's like Skyfall came along, or with Zelda, Wind Waker came along. Okay. And I was like, oh, this is great. I love this so much. But then I was like, oh, but I'm tied to, GoldenEye. That was my first one, so that one's got to be my favorite. But then it's like you watch Skyfall enough, or you play Wind Waker enough, and you're like, no, this one is better. This is the better. This is the better movie. I just got to accept it. But that said, I still love this. I like the bad guy, being an ex MI agent, which I guess is the case with Skyfall too. Sean Bean, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And I always like to reference this when there's the whole meme of Sean Bean like always dies in like movies that he's in, like that's kind of his thing, is he just dies in like everything he's been in.
I didn't know that was a meme, but that is true.
Yeah. Well, I like to use this as an example because it's like if you want a prime example of that, watch GoldenEye, because he dies like 3 times in this movie, because there's like the opening where where Bond thinks that he dies, and then I say that the second time that he dies is when he falls off of the thing at the end, when they're fighting on the cradle or whatever, because that should kill him.
Yeah.
The height that he falls at, that should kill him. So I count that as his second death, and then his third death is when the thing falls on him and crushes him and actually kills him. But yeah, it's just so many like classic scenes. I love the opening with him at the dam doing the like the base jumping off of that is really cool. Like again, I appreciate when they actually do stunts in movies, and they actually did that in this. I think another, I guess, I do have some James Bond tropes that I like, because Xenia Onatopp is very reminiscent of Fatima Blush from Never Say Never Again, and I like both of them a lot. They're just crazy, over the top female.
On the top, right? On the
Yeah,
top. On the top. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And yeah, I like the look of this. Just it's when it has a good visual, just visual look, like the coloring and lighting and everything. It's just it's nothing like it's just one of those that's like good. It's like, it's not like there's anything like spectacular about the visuals, but it looks very nice. And yeah, obviously I said I'm a Brosnan guy. This is his best one, obviously, in my opinion. And yeah, I don't know if I watched this first or played the N64 game first. They were hand in hand though when I was a little kid. They were. I definitely was too young to see this in theaters. So I would have seen it later. But
yeah, this one 95. After the Cold War. A reboot, sort of, because
like a soft reboot.
It's after the Cold War.
Mm-hmm.
And it does this one. Now the later Brosnan ones don't do this, as far as I remember very well. But this one is kind of like apologizing somewhat for Bond being a sexist, Cold Warrior masculine figure, and they comment quite often on that aspect of his character. Do you remember this? Am I right about this? I think that's the case here.
Maybe.
Or is this the one, or is it the next one? It's one of these first 2 Brosnan ones.
Maybe, I don't know. I feel like he's still pretty normally like. I was surprised that he doesn't actually have sex with Xenia Onatopp. I thought for sure he did at some point, but so maybe there's that.
I'm pretty sure this is the one, because Judi Dench shows up and gives him.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, she has a little. Yeah. Oh yeah, she's great too. I'm so glad that they kept her through the Craig ones. Like that was such a good choice to keep her. Like she works she's like the one character that works for the silly, campy, like it's weird to think that like a character could work in Die Another Day and Casino Royale, because those are like two opposite ends of the Bond spectrum. But yeah, she's good.
Well, this is good, and we not mentioned. I mean, this is the first time we mentioned M, this recurring character.
Yeah, that's
and
weird.
then there's Moneypenny,
Uh-huh.
who varies, and Felix Leiter, and all these characters. But I didn't ever really care that much about any of them. I got to tell you, they're there, and they're sort of placeholders, and they're Q is kind of fun occasionally.
Q is my favorite of the standard characters for sure. Yeah.
So this is our ranking, and I guess we want to make it super orderly, we could, but I'm fine with this. It looks good to me.
Sure. I think it's natural that the middle is probably going to be a little more full than the ends. I'm kind of surprised more. Like in retrospect, like seeing how the whole list shakes out, there's ones where I would be like I was kind of reserving some for, like seeing that there's only 3 in D tier. I'm like, oh yeah, you could put like You Only Live Twice or Dr. No down there, because
yeah.
But yeah, ultimately I think it's pretty good. Pretty happy with that. Yeah,
this is good. I'm actually having a good time. Let's do the awards.
Yeah.
Decently quickly. I'm going to pull up my list of what we said. I think the first one should be who is the best Bond actor. Probably anybody who's survived this long can figure out what we're going to say. Or
yeah,
one of us. I don't know if they're listening carefully. Who do you think is the best Bond? As an actor.
As an actor, I mean, it's hard. Do I divorce
however
my?
You want to frame that.
I mean, I always go with Pierce Brosnan. He's the guy that I think of. Again, whether that's just because he was the first one for me or what, but I think he's got like the look. He's just kind of who I picture when I think of him. So yeah.
I surprised myself picking him as well. I did not think I would do that. I thought Connery is going to be my guy, and going through this again, it was pretty clear to me. Craig is not. Craig is fine, but again, I don't think he could be in. Actually, don't think he'd be in that many Bond films.
Yeah, true.
He does not fit most of those.
Yeah.
He fits the one he fits the ones he's in.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Yeah.
Best looking Bond.
I
clearly
did go. I did not put. These are not like in. If you have yours ready, you can go. I don't have. Okay. Yeah. I found
Skyfall, and there's not even
gotta be Skyfall. Yeah.
A work of art compared to these other ones. Real serious work of art visually, maybe also sonically as well. Best supervillain layer.
This one I have a couple. I have a few. I got okay. I'm gonna shout out. I like Gustav Graves' Iceland greenhouse from Die Another Day. It's just a big like glassy greenhouse area. I like that. I like the poison garden from No Time to Die, the final island. I think that's kind of a cool. That feels very like throwbacky, which I'm sure they were doing kind of like a throwback to old ones. And it's I have there's some of these where I have a lot. Like there are a lot of good options for these. Yeah, I don't know. Like, what do you? What is your pick for best? I
really don't have a preference. I think
you don't?
Man
Okay.
with the Golden Gun with that cool private
That's
island.
one of mine. Yep.
That's where I'd want to live. So I kind of picked that.
So if we're I went. So I did also want to shout out the volcano lair from You Only Live Twice. It's another like classic one. But yeah, I think my top ones that I have highlighted are Scaramanga's Island, and then also Saint Cyril's. From For Your Eyes Only, which is it's you probably don't remember it since you like didn't like that one, but it's they filmed it at the Meteora monasteries, and it's just such do you know those?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
they're like these gigantic rocks just sticking up out of the earth, and there's like little like villages on top of them, and like that's just cool. Much like the Scaramanga's Island, it's just a really cool filming location. Regardless of like how I feel about the movie as a whole, it's like it's a really cool looking place.
That's where I think I want to be a Bond director and just figure out what are my
Yeah,
settings. That would be so much. That would be
yeah,
such a good time. Probably couldn't afford most of the ones I wanted, but
yeah.
yeah. The dumbest Q invention.
Um. Okay. Okay. I have a couple for this. I think I know. Is yours the magnet watch
Mine
from
is
Live
the
and Let
magnet
Die?
watch
Yeah.
Live and Let Die, which is
Okay.
the most useless piece of junk.
I was pretty sure because I remember when you sent me this list. I think it was like right after you had watched Live and Let Die, and I read your review for that, and you specifically mentioned that. I was like, that's probably what he's going with this for this
It
one.
doesn't even work.
Uh,
If I remember correctly, it doesn't do much of any
I think
good.
it does, but yeah, he like barely uses it. So I wanted to pick something else. So I had two other ones. One is from the Living Daylights. He has like a key fob that's like you press it and it's supposed to like emit this like stun, like kind of like a stun grenade or whatever you call it, like a flash grenade thing. Um or like a stun gas, and he's like, and Q's like, it'll knock them out for 30 seconds. And then he uses it and it only knocks them out for like 5 seconds. So it
Yeah.
barely even like works. Um and then the other one I have is from The World Is Not Enough. It's like this inflatable cocoon thing that kind of it's like you pull a ripcord and it like completely encases you, and
Yes.
that's a prime example of a like Batman's tool belt type gadget where it's like it's so specific to like one use, like one specific use, and then of course they find the reason to use it in the movie. So I think that's my number one.
I think they always try to outdo themselves with those. Yeah. And later they got like let's drive a car remotely. There's like a self-drive
Yeah, yeah,
car,
and
a
that's in
remote control car.
Tomorrow Never Dies.
Remote
Yeah.
control. Sometimes they have cool stuff. Sometimes they have really stupid stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's see. The most out. Oh, do we? Oh, maybe. Well,
What do you
the
got?
most outlandish sexual double
Yes,
entendre,
I've got a few.
of which there must be 1,000, because this is the goal for many scriptwriters, etc., of this series to outdo each other on the most ridiculous double entendres they could come up with.
Mm-hmm. Um,
What do you got?
I've got a few. um, I think most of, or maybe all of these. No, I think maybe all of these are from like the ending, because so many of these movies end with, M and the other guys at MI6 being like, "Oh, where's Bond? What's he doing?" And then they're like, "Oh, we have surveillance on him," and it zooms in on him, and he's having sex with a lady. And so I have one from Live and Let Die. When asked if he wants to go for round 3, he says, "Absolutely, wouldn't want to go off half cocked." I think anytime there's like a direct
I don't
like
remember that
use
one. That was
of like
awful.
a sexual word, yeah. Um, this is the end of The Spy Who Loved Me. Um, and M says, "Well, tell him to pull out," because they're like, "Oh, he's deep in enemy territories," and he says, "Well, tell him to pull out." And then the end of Moonraker, same thing. They're where is he, whatever, and M's like, "Where's Bond?" And Q says, "I think he's attempting re-entry." um
Oh my gosh.
and then what I have highlighted as the worst, because the other ones like I chuckle at and I'm like, "Oh yeah, yeah." This one kind of makes me uncomfortable every time they say it. uh but it's the end. It might be the last line in The World's Not Enough, and it's him and Christmas Jones, and they're having a romantic evening, and he says, "Oh, will you surprise me?" And she says, "Why?" And he says, "I thought Christmas only comes once a year." Like it makes me feel so weird. So that's gotta be the worst one for me. That's gotta be my pick.
And oh my gosh. I I actually don't remember the Ian Fleming novels at all. I did read two or three,
Oh,
four
okay.
as a kid.
I
I don't
did
remember them.
I did download
Like,
some of the audiobooks. I kind of
do
want to
they
check them out
have this
after.
stuff in them? That's
I
what
don't know.
I don't think
I
so, but I don't remember because I was a kid. I don't remember. I
it's
probably missed most of them.
I feel like they're very, I don't know. I haven't read any, but I did get some of the audiobooks to listen to, because I am interested to listen to them, because like looking up some of them after watching some of the movies, that like most of the movies, like they're basically just the name. They take the name from it.
Yeah.
Everything else is different. Like some of them aren't even like from his point of view. They're like from other people's point of view. I guess On Her Majesty's Secret Service is like pretty much like by the book, but other than that, they're very, very, very different. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't remember the movie. It's one of the Brosnans at the beginning where he's shacking up with a professor of Danish studies at Oxford. It's something like he's teaching a foreign language. I think it's Danish.
Oh,
And
yes.
Penny's on the phone with him and says, "I always knew you were a cunning linguist, Mr. Bond."
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's your, yeah. Yeah.
Wouldn't have got that as a very young lad.
No,
but,
yeah, not at all.
the competition in these movies. The weirdest sidekick villain. That's what I wrote down. So weirdest sidekick villain. Yeah. Or your favorite, maybe. Whichever one it is.
Oh man, favorite might be different from weirdest. I did do weirdest. And I think I have two mentioned. I have Fatima Blush. I don't know how to say her name from Never Say Never Again. And then I have Nick Nack from Man with the Golden Gun.
Yes. We didn't mention. Is it Hervey? I don't know how to pronounce it. Hervey. I don't know.
I think it's Herve Villachase. Herve, I think.
Herve. Okay.
I could be wrong.
No, I'll go with that. I'll pronounce everything on this channel. Oh, yes, he is bizarre.
Yeah. And then he has
go from him, the short guy, to then Jaws, the big giant.
Yeah. That's funny. I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Yep.
And then he has the scene where it's the end of the movie and you think all is well, but then he's there and he tries to kill Bond, and then he ends up being like tied to the mast.
and Mike Myers couldn't top that. Anything like that. Like that's a parody of itself.
Yeah.
I'm 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mentioned Jaws. I mean, there's a guy with a yo-yo saw in one of these.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Weird, very weird weapon.
Yeah.
Robert Shaw is strange. He just says nothing and From Russia with Love, and then you see him in Jaws. It's quite a bit different, but and this is an interesting. We haven't even mentioned this. We mentioned the opening credit sequence real briefly, but best worst Bond theme songs. Because they always employed. I don't know when it really started because I can't remember a famous pop singer until some later Sean Connery ones, but a pop singer to make a theme song, and then they got big names at the time to do them. So I didn't know what you honed in on for the good or bad pop songs or theme songs.
Best is really hard. That's killing my darlings. Like I do love a handful, but like I have quite a few listed.
Which ones? You got to remind me. I only got a couple.
I love Goldfinger. This is a classic one, but I love Goldfinger by Shirley Bassey, as well as GoldenEye, the Tina Turner one, which is like a throwback to Goldfinger. It used like the same melody.
Is that the one that Bono wrote?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love The World Is Not Enough by Garbage. You Know My Name by Chris Cornell.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That one tends to be. I love Chris Cornell and Audio Slave, so I'm a little biased towards that. But that's a great one. And then an unofficial one, because it was replaced by one of the worst Bond themes. But I don't know if you know, but Radiohead was originally signed on or like asked to do the theme song for Spectre. And they recorded. They have a song called Spectre.
No way! I didn't know this.
And it's awesome. It is awesome. It's great. But then they were told that it was too dark for the movie.
Yeah.
Which I would not agree with. So then they replaced it with Sam Smith, and he did the writings on the wall, which I hate. I do not like that one. It's not the worst, but it's pretty close. It's on my short list.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I like Live and Let Die. That's boring, but
I like Live and Let Die too. Yeah, yeah.
I think it's like one of those mini epics, like a weird pop song that has some prog prog rock stuff in it. It's kind of like
Hmm.
Bohemian Rhapsody. It's got like 8 parts to it in about 5 minutes. So I always like that one. I don't remember any of the other ones. Truth be told, Duran Duran
I,
is one of those, and
yeah, it's okay.
Aha is another one
Yep.
that's in
Yeah.
the mid 80s.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
Worst? Was
something.
there a worst for you?
Yeah, I did want to add about "You Know My Name," which I would maybe go with that one, partly through bias, but also because like again, it's nice when like there's actual like intent behind stuff in this series, and that one, if you look at the lyrics to it, um that made me like appreciate the song like even more so,
Oh, okay.
because it's a lot of these songs are just like, I really like Nobody Does It Better. That's on my short list for best. That's the one from Spy Who Loved Me. I really like that one, and Goldfinger. I like Skyfall. But they kind of like a lot of the songs, all of those ones are just like, ooh, you're mysterious and sexy, and this is a this is a love song. Like all of them are like love songs written by endless the nameless women that like Bond has like slept with. But you know my name is written from the perspective of M talking to James Bond, and I think that makes that song like all the more interesting. So
Yeah.
with that, maybe that's my favorite. But yeah. But anyways, yes, worst. Um, I got to shout out, yeah, Writings on the Wall. Hate that one. There's a string
What's
of.
that from?
That's the one from Spectre. That's the one that.
Okay. Mhm.
Uh. Uh. There's a few like in the 70s, 80s that I hate. I don't like All Time High or For Your Eyes Only.
Oh my
They're
gosh,
just
that's my pick.
bad. That's your pick, For Your Eyes Only.
Right now, oh, it's
Uh.
in my head now because I thought that's what drives me crazy. I don't like it, and it gets
Yeah.
in my head.
It's bad. They're bad. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of like not good ones. As much as I like some of them, there's a lot of not good ones. But I had to go with the one that was not only bad but the most annoying, and that's The Man with the Golden Gun. That's my pick, because it's like it's got those like annoying horns, and everything that vocalist does in that song irritates me. She's everything she does is so annoying. She's like,
I,
and she tries to do like a raspy like she sounds like
yeah,
the singer in Jabba's palace. Uh,
anything in the '70s is Live and Let Die, and then you got these other
rough, yeah.
usually not very good, or they're annoying or something like that. That's what I found. Okay, so the theme songs are a thing. I'd be interested
But
to see what the next theme song they
yeah,
bring
yeah,
new
me
one
too.
out. They're
Yeah,
gonna do Bad Bunny or
yeah, yeah,
or something. Turn
yeah.
into a rap music.
Maybe.
Or
I would be remiss not to mention again Die Another Day, because Madonna is one of those artists where I'm like I think that she's like embarrassing, like with how bad she is at like making music. And there's some celebrities, there's some like artists where I'm like, are are they just famous because everybody feels bad for them? Like she does all this like dumb, embarrassing stuff and writes these terrible songs, but everybody's like, we feel bad for her, so let's just say that she's like an icon or whatever. But like that song is so embarrassing. It's so bad. And then there's like the breakdown after the first chorus where she goes Sigmund Freud, and she goes analyze this, and it's stupid. It's so dumb.
I have no love for Madonna, so I will agree with everything. Yes. All right, best worst theme songs. I think that's it. I have the most crucial aspect of Bond movies that
Yeah, did
viewers
you
might
have something for
overlook.
that?
I did because I respected John Barry as a composer.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, I mean the main theme song, but then I think his scores
Oh
are
yeah, of course, yeah.
noticeable.
Yeah.
and really a lot of memorable stuff, of course, and instrumentation. I think he's actually I've listened to a lot of musicians podcasts and stuff, and they always mention John Barry, and I never paid attention, but I finally did in this watch through. So
Yeah.
it
No,
was
that.
noticeable that he made a gigantic imprint on the
Hmm.
franchise, especially early on, and then several of the themes are
Yeah.
iconic and important.
And then he does the theme for well, obviously, but the one I'd never heard before was the On Her Majesty's Secret Service. I love that one too,
Hmm.
because they do for the opening title for that one. It's not like a pop star. It's just that theme, and it's a great theme. And
Yeah.
they repurposed that in a couple of the other ones. I noticed it was featured quite a bit in No Time to Die. They used the On Her Majesty's
Mm,
Secret Service theme. Um,
yeah.
well, that kind of ties into my one that I had that I don't know if you had anything for, but the one that I suggested was the most awkward use of the main theme.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
this was an instance where it happened in the movie, and I was like, I just have to bring this up.
Please.
And it's from Russia with Love. There's this like 2 or 3 minute scene of James Bond slowly and methodically, like, checking his hotel room for bugs. So he's like walking around, he like, checks under the like radio. He like goes to the lamp, he like pulls and it's very slow. He's just walking around, and just the whole time it's like
Oh, that's
so
yes.
loud. It's
That's the one where I said in my letterbox thing where it feels like you can hear the guy turning it up on the
yeah.
dial in the
Yeah.
editing room. Like, let's make the music real loud now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I Oh my goodness, yes, I
Yeah, I had to
yes.
shut that out.
So that I like that. Well, I think that's it. This has been actually it's a lot of fun. It was worth watching all these movies to do this.
Yeah.
And
it, it like much like doing like duds. I like having it feels nice to like know that you're gonna like do something with it. It makes it a little
Right.
easier to take in.
You're not just watching and then it's crap and then you live your life.
At least
You're
I'm
making this
suffering
thing.
for, yeah.
Hopefully, people got something out of this.
I do have something else I wanted to add to the one
Yeah.
we do have one more award that I
Oh,
don't know if you had anything for, but
maybe I missed it.
it was one that you had suggested, so maybe you have something in mind. It
Go
was
for it.
silliest attempt to kill Bond off. Did you
Oh, I
have one
did.
for that?
Yeah, there it is. I didn't see that.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
silliest attempt to kill Bond. Well,
Yeah,
of course, in the Austin Powers movies, make so much
yeah.
fun of it.
Yeah, that's another thing is like watching through all these, it made me appreciate Austin Powers more because
Right. Oh,
that first one
totally.
is really good. Yeah,
Yes.
sequel's not so much, but first one's good. So I had a couple. I had in The Man with the Golden Gun, he's left to be kung fu'd to death. He's like left in this like kung fu training ground, and they all try to beat him up.
Oh, yeah,
Uh,
because that movie, I should have mentioned that. That movie is like blaxploitation, Live and Let Die, Kung Fu in the Man with the Golden Gun, and Star Wars and Moonraker.
yeah, yeah. And then For Your Eyes Only, it's kind of a similar thing, but he's like left in like a hockey rink, and the hockey team tries to kill him by like shooting
Oh,
pucks at him.
I think that is the best one. That is like unbelievably weird.
I
That's stupid.
So
I mean,
I had that one highlighted as like that might be the single silliest, but I had to give it to this one instead, simply because of how elaborate this is. So I'll take you on this sequence that is maybe like 10 minutes of this movie, and it's from Diamonds Are Forever. It's roughly halfway through, and he finally meets Blofeld, because Blofeld has like all those doubles in that movie, and he like kills the wrong one, and then the real Blofeld like pulls a gun on him, and he's like, all right, well, this is the end of the line for you, Mr. Bond. I've got the gun on you, you're helpless. And then he's like, why don't you get in that elevator? So he like backs him up onto an elevator, and then he gets on the elevator, and as he's riding it down, the gas comes through. It fills the elevator, and then he gets knocked out. And then he wakes up. They drag him out to this pipeline in the middle of the desert, and they strap him to this like this thingy. It's like a weird like thing on wheels that like goes through the pipeline. I think it's for like maintenance or something normally. Um and they like set it to like go run into the end of the pipeline or whatever. So he's just going to like be rammed into the end of the thing, and he ends up, undoing the ties and getting out of there. And it's like this super long drawn out sequence where Blofeld could have just shot him. He had him at gunpoint. There was absolutely no point for any of this. But I did like that it ended with he ends up in the pipeline, and there's a mouse in the pipeline, and Bond says to him, he's like, "Oh, one of us." What does he say? He says like, "One of us smells like an old tart's handkerchief," and then Bond like smells himself, and he's like, "Oh, I guess that's me. Sorry, old boy." And he like makes reference to the mouse later in the movie too. So I like that.
And that's what the Craig Bonds kind of miss out on.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly. Like that's the stupid humor, campy stuff they got rid of, and it's probably better for it. But yet,
yeah,
it's kind of fun if you're into that.
Yeah. And then, did you have one for that, or was yours the hockey team attack?
It was a hockey team. It was 100%, because
Okay.
that is just I don't even know how to fathom dreaming that up.
Yeah,
Truly. I mean,
yeah.
I know there are more, and
I'm sure there were some that I didn't make note of. Anyways, and then last I did some number crunching to because we were talking about our our favorite Bonds and all that. Yep. But I looked at all of our scores. So this is obviously a very like not actual, but based on the movies, we both said that it was Brosnan was our favorite, and this is our least favorite director or favorite or whatever. But based on like simply like the number crunching, well, here's our average. Our average for all of them are it's pretty close. Do you want to take a guess at what do you think your average for the series as a whole?
Mine or both of ours together?
Well,
and it's out of 5 stars.
Actually,
right?
If they're I did ours individually, but we're very close on our overall.
I would say 3 out of 5.
Like 3 out of 5.
Yeah,
not too far off. You're not 4. You're at 5.46 out of 10. So not too far
out of 10.
off.
Yeah,
out of
5.
10, yeah.
5.4. Well, that's middle.
And mine's 5.54. So I think if you put ours together, we'd be 5.5 out
of 10. According to internet ratings, it's terrible.
Yeah.
I think. Oh, I don't know. That's actually bad. Yeah,
it does feel really bad, doesn't
it? I have stupid Bond opinions. I'm down on Bond. It's like you got to watch the more movie, like the end of the Connerys and the more movies, and then you tell me if you don't have a similar opinion.
It's like there are some really good ones. We talked about them already, but there's too many not good ones to when I see that score, and I'm like, yeah.
And yet they must have hit an audience right when they made enough money.
Yeah.
And they kept going with it, and it was iconic, and it never ended, and it still hasn't ended.
Yeah.
I don't even know how people survive the Moore movies, truth be told. I mean, I don't necessarily mind him, but just the cheesiness, campiness.
Yeah, no,
some bad stuff. A couple really bad movies there. I don't know how that kept going.
I know. Yeah. Looking at them like now, it's like, it's, and then again, just based on pure number crunching, Brosnan is your number 3.
I see.
So I'm just going off of like the average of their
be.
Movie scores. He is. Who do you think your 1 and 2 are?
Well, it's got to be Craig, because I put Skyfall and Casino Royale high.
Craig is 2.
Well, then there's no way it's more.
No,
don't tell me.
No.
So it's Connery.
No.
Well,
it's a little. It's a.
Wait, now I'm confused.
It's Lazenby.
I named them all. Well, okay, I
Yeah,
don't count him because he's got one movie.
yeah, I
I
know.
get what
Yeah,
you're saying, though, right?
yeah,
The one movie that he made is better than the cumulative everybody else,
That's the idea. Is like, yeah,
right?
you get one pretty good movie and you're better than most.
I,
Mine is I have Brosnan and Lazenby both tied for first, and then I have Craig, Dalton, and Moore tied for the next spot, and then Connery. So I have Connery as the bottom for the
you are
main
that,
ones.
yeah. And if you read those old critic reviews, Siskel, Ebert, Pauline Kael, whatever, they really go like Connery's the one, and nobody else compares, and nobody else is making the better movies than Connery, and the franchise suffers because it's not Connery. So I didn't get that this watch through. I got it when I was a kid, I believe that, but I don't now.
Yeah,
And so I think we're just like children of the 90s or something, 2000s or whatever
yeah,
it is. So somehow Brosnan, I would love to hear from a younger person to see what they come up with. If they watch through all these, how does a Gen Z or even maybe younger take these movies? If they can
yeah.
even survive, I don't know.
I know. Yeah, yeah.
They probably know all the tropes, and
Mm-hmm.
actually you probably
Especially
find
at
some
this
good
point.
memes in these movies
Oh
if you want
yeah.
to hunt for them.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Then do you have a guess who? This one will probably be a little easier. Do you know who your favorite, who your highest rated director is? I'll say. Both of these make complete sense.
because there's so many one-offs there.
There are a lot of one-offs, and
So
I
then,
did everybody. So
so I wouldn't know based on that entirely. It's not. I don't know.
it's not a one-off. I'll tell you that.
Oh gosh, it's not. It's Lewis Gilbert, isn't it?
Mm-mm. Nope.
Okay, then I don't know.
It's Sam Mendes for you.
I must have Spectre decently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got it 12th. I see it here. Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Wait, did
Yeah,
he do two or three of them?
he did
Two.
two. He did. So he did
Yeah.
Spectre, but he did Skyfall.
Oh, sure.
Which,
Well, that makes
yeah,
sense.
that alone.
Who's
And then
yours?
mine is Martin Campbell, who did GoldenEye and Casino Royale. Like that makes total sense because
Yeah.
I think it would be Sam Mendes if I didn't hate Spectre as much as I did. So I'm like,
Yeah.
Martin Campbell makes sense because he made two movies and they're both in my S tier. So
I think we can say he probably is the best director in the series. I mean,
I
just based on what he did.
I like to think so. Like that he would be my argument if I had to make an argument for like who is the best, because like he basically did two reboots. He did two kind of like soft restarts to the series,
Yeah.
and they're both so different, like because Casino Royale ushered in the new kind of grittier modern Bond, and then GoldenEye was kind of just like a more modernized version of that classic campy one. And
Yeah.
they both like work really well, so he did his job very well in both cases.
Strange because his filmography is not great. Look at his other movies,
Martin
and you're
Campbell,
like, what?
yeah, what else has he done?
Green Lantern,
Who?
Mask of Zorro, and then of course Sam Mendes is like
Yeah,
Oscar winning,
yeah,
and very good stuff. So that's interesting. There's nothing wrong with that though.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for that. That's helpful.
Yeah.
I didn't think to do that. I like that. Well, this has been fun. Thanks for taking your time to do this. And for anybody who's watching, TJ, There Will Be Duds, go check him out. Go check him out on Letterboxd. And his buddy Nick, who we miss. I like Nick a lot too. Say hi to Nick for me. I hope I hope he's doing well. Maybe we'll find another 25 movie franchise to do this.
Oh, I got a couple. I mean,
You do? What in the world would they be? Godzilla.
That guy right
that would
there.
be the thing.
Yeah.
You're Godzilla guy.
Yeah. That's my next one that I'm kind of like this before we decided to do this, I was like slowly chipping away at Bond, and I've been slowly chipping away at all the Godzilla movies I haven't seen, and that's another one where it's like there's a lot of not great Godzilla movies.
Yes.
But I would probably say like I have more fun watching like a bad Godzilla movie than I do watching a bad Bond movie.
Well, there's less like certain kinds of cringe involved.
Yeah. And
Me in the Bond movies.
Yeah.
With
even it's like, sorry, go ahead.
no, with the Bond movies, you get the cringe. I think
Yeah.
Godzilla just like stupid.
Yeah, it's just dumb. It's
If it's
just dumb
stupid, it's just dumb
fun. Yeah,
fun.
it never takes itself too seriously, and it's like they always, at the very least, if you're coming there for watching some big monsters slap each other around, you're gonna get that.
Yeah.
You always get delivered on that, and but that would also be an interesting one. There's even more movies with that one. There's if you count the animated ones, I think they're up to 40 now.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe the Batman. Maybe I'll do the Batmans or something like that.
Batman would be good. Yeah, there's like that's got like a dozen or so or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Go check out TG, and we'll see you later. Have a good day.